That's usually how it
And
works
today,
when
in
someone
Rescue
has
with
everyone ready.
Raxis. Last time, the party went to a fancy dinner. Today, they're still at it. Continue.
Dinner. What the hell is that?
There's your recap. What more do you need?
Yeah.
Continue. It's just like, yeah, and then we wait. Yeah.
And Zazu got absolutely confused about politics, or at least human or dwarven or whatever politics we're dealing with here.
Mammalian politics.
Very racist of you.
Non-kobold politics.
You may have noticed there is a kobold involved in these politics.
Oh God.
Oh, true,
True.
yeah.
But yes, as you might remember, I'm sure you do.
Mm-hmm.
The head of the Boarhen household has gotten pretty damn squiffy. Kagratz has given some Karadim has given some conspiratorial kind of messages. A wine tasting has begun. But it's also that case of, you could walk out at any time kind of part of the party. Things are just peaceful.
Yeah.
But also a chance to get real cloak and dagger and shit, really drive it in. But it is on you guys, as there is just a general murmur of polite chatter. You're hoping, Cornelius, that Lazul is not going to bring up Yobby's report?
Light cheddar.
I mean, he just granted us a wish. So I'm assuming it has been thoroughly ignored.
That he will fulfill.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that Yobby will fulfill, or?
That Lazul will fulfill on your behalf.
Yeah.
Going to give you more of a reward than the 50 gold apiece.
Yeah, I'm assuming at this point, Cornelius is kind of in a hostage situation with the head of the Borhens.
Not quite.
Not
quite, as I said, he's starting to be led away by the house servants because he has gotten too deep into his cup.
Okay.
Yeah, after the wine tasting, he kind of went...
Yeah, the wife has said it's time for him to have a little lie down.
You're not supposed to drink it, right? You have a...
Yes, you're also not meant to have it filled to the throat like he was. That's it, boy, that's it. Yes, all the way to the top, yes. Make that surface tension work for it, yes, good job. What are you doing, lad? You could fit several coins in there. Come on, before it spills, do it.
Yeah, what was the head of
this party?
Yeah, what was the head? What was the forename? What was the name of the head of the Borhens again?
Murloff and his wife Callista. He's Murloff Borson Borhen. Well, she's Callista Morobran Borhen. Then you've just got Helvetica Borhen.
Yeah, Rain would be kind of gesturing for Cornelius to see if, he's going to try to talk to Helvetica.
Well, I mean, he's already got kind of a date arranged.
Yeah, I think it's more like the more obvious point of interest is more Callista right now, but you can go talk to her if you want.
You could even communicate among yourselves, among the servings.
Mm-hmm.
Might be time to have a little bit of an in-character huddle. Especially engage ones who might be on the edge of their best behavior right now. He knew who was being talked about.
Gonna go eat my cake.
Mulgrew
Yeah, I
is actually
imagine.
behaving for once.
Well, yeah.
It's because the last time he didn't, he got beaten up.
Yeah. And the same guy's here.
Yep.
I'm a little cowed right now. Especially after the discussion we had.
Yeah, where suddenly
Suddenly
what
dwarves are
clans?
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, more about the loyalties of the clan idea.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be a good little boy. No bad things will happen.
Yeah, if Sasul wants to talk more about it, or like I said, if anyone wants to talk to Callista instead of Cornelius doing it.
Or even talking amongst yourselves, like if given an option
Yeah.
to. Like, this is a time where you can collaborate your
Mhm.
information, corroborate, talk, have options.
Yeah, I
Zazul's going to look around for any of the group that he can talk to about what the dwarf said, because he doesn't understand it completely. It sounds strange. And
Who is he approaching?
Pretty much anyone he wants. I mean, we've got a case of
Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah,
and,
we're asking Wetgun.
yeah, Rain and Horizon West are currently at the wine table. Castalia and Kagratz are pretty much near there as well. He's still incredibly shy about having been beaten.
No, I'm going to head in that direction of the wine tasting. It seems like the people I need to talk to are.
Malgern might be gravitating towards there because there is more booze, but lighter booze.
I mean, do they have anything made for real people?
And Cornelius can probably never be led away from a wine table. Not until it's been properly inspected.
Guys, I talked to that dwarf, and he it doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense, Zarzul?
He seems to think that there's somebody who can put this place, the country back together, but he needs the high priest to do it. I don't know why. Something about crowning or something.
Well,
Wasn't that already brought up a bit? Is that they need the high priest to crown the king, which is
Yeah.
part of the problem?
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't really discussed.
yeah.
He seems to think that the Zeal Knights have somebody that just needs the crowning, or I can't remember which side I'm on at the moment.
Well, yeah, that was the point. That they had somebody, but they can't do anything without the priest.
Zarzul, I know we're rejoining a fancy party, but you didn't need to fucking pregame this hard.
There's only one. Maybe the arm jab did it.
Hey, he was the smart one. Like I said,
Oh, did
these
you get a
booze
booster?
weren't meant for normal people.
I got my first one about a quarter of an hour before the run.
For fuck's sake. Alright, so don't look to the kobold for too much help right now.
Look, he
Good
said
luck.
there was a van. It jabbed him. It was,
Yeah. He just got poked by a key and thinks that's the vaccination protocol.
I mean, how do we know it isn't?
It would spread it.
It was just. It's a strange vehicle parked on the side of the road. They had
If it wasn't your
green
strange
eagles or
vehicle parked
something.
on the side of a road. Well, he's having some squiffy thoughts, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Well,
So I relate basically what I was told.
mhm.
Yeah, there's still the problem with the Archdeacon. Gone missing. No true crowned king. And there was also a
And,
suggestion that, it's been 100 years. While a lot of people are dead at that point, not everyone is.
And why are they still looking for somebody 100 years later? Maybe we're dealing with Elf again.
Gross.
I mean, Cornelius and Rain know for a full fact that Karagrim is over 100.
Yeah.
I mean, what dwarves live to be, what, 250, 300
Roughly, yeah.
in D&D? Yeah, so that's logical.
Yeah. There's also your
Duggar, the
favorite
ripe old
barman.
age of 257.
There's also a barman that you actually like, despite being an elf. He talked about when he was a child, whenever Ermon and Sofak came through.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yep. It's a good thing he's very patient up in his guard.
Well, to put it in, when you, Sasul, when you have to elect a leader, what do you usually do?
Well, the person who wants to be elected goes up, asks if anyone says no. If anyone says no, they have a fight or of some form, whether it be just words or weapons, and winner wins. That's it.
Yes, but who is it usually that asks the question of who wants to be the leader?
Nobody generally asks, it just happens.
No shaman or elder or anything?
If Shaman wants to be the leader, he can do it.
I suppose that does make it difficult to relay the importance of the archbishop.
I don't know.
Usually in kingdoms such as these, it is seen as a sort of a blessing from the god to institute who the next ruler is.
Seems terribly inefficient.
Well, a lot of times it is mostly just a formality at that point, but it is a kind of a final note. Like you say, you could say it's the end result of a fight, as you have it in your cave.
But I still, if the god, why? I still don't see why the high priest needs to get involved at all.
Well, like I said, traditions. It is not exactly that the archbishop made it their business. It is
Oh,
mostly
them
from the.
traditions. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Kind of like your cave had the tradition of the Zazul.
It's
Yes,
so
that
useful
makes
to them.
sense. It's how they get rid of a useless third of their population.
Not useless, but those who are contributing less than is required. Those who don't just fit in. I believe there's a movie called Ants that's all about this kind of thing. Zarzul just never knew how to be the ball.
Whoa. Circular, rolls into itself.
Yeah, no. It's a useful tradition. It gets rid of people who don't pull their weight, people who may be a threat to the leader later on. You know, those type of people.
In any case, it sounds like we should have a conversation with Karagrim at some other point. More private matters.
Yes, but he didn't seem to know anything about, well, possibility of more of the royal family.
I mean, you
Oh, but
also
you might
know
know
that
about-
Karagrim is an Azael Knight.
Um,
And the Boar Hens are Cerule.
So they are opposite sides.
Maybe you should try asking the boar hens if one of you about the possibility of. Let's see if we can find ourselves a princess and get out of here. This place makes my head hurt.
It's
But
interesting.
I
We're
think
gonna have a live demonstration of the side effects. Which one did you get?
Pfizer?
Pfizer. Pfizer. Okay.
Pfizer.
Okay. Continue.
I don't think
Zazel is looking expectantly up at Rain and Cornelius.
if they knew where the princess was, I think they already would have done something about it because they're on the other side of the equation still.
They may still have her captured, though, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you said you were looking expectant up at
The wizards.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
you poor fool! You've learned nothing.
These are supposed to be intelligent people. Maybe they can pump the bullheads for information. And I've apparently gone up to the absolutely bluest person to try and pump.
Do you remember how you're now having to look for a dragon slaying sword?
Yeah. But hey, look at it this way. We can find the dragon slaying sword for a reason.
Yeah.
We have a dragon slaying sword. We've got an excellent way to make sure there's a dragon.
No. The reason was to erase the debts for his brother. Debts that you probably could have wound up paying out of pocket.
Hey, let's carry on.
They could even use your hoard. Your secret hoard.
hidden in your cummerbund. Oh no, wait, you hid it somewhere else, didn't you, after it fell out at some
I
point?
think he dug a hole, didn't he?
Let's just say Wolfgang's armor might be a little bit more metallic than it used to be.
Oh, yeah. I continue, guys. Just gotta fix my Twitch. You forgot to change title and whatnot. Doesn't matter too much, but I forgot.
So, which one of you two wants to try and ask the boy hens for information?
Well, Cornelius got to make his way out to Callista and discreetly start asking questions, unless Rain wants to. Or
I
if
suggest that we both go over so that we can consider trying to, both ask questions.
Ah, yes, I'm reminded of Team Rocket right now. Prepare for trouble, and it's just been made double.
Yeah, I was about to say, when are we ever a good team? But the wizards are
If
going
only
to go.
Pufflesworth was there.
so
He'd be like, and me.
whose pet is the yeah, I was about to say whose pet is the Meowth.
You know exactly whose pet is the Meowth.
I mean, the ornament looks like a
Zarzul.
cat, but no, it's no. I mean, he does
I was about
talk,
to
yeah.
Well, I was also about to say that there's also the fact that the pet actually has to be more clever than the humans.
So Droop.
No, I
Wolfgang?
remember what Cornelius said about Pufflesworth.
Pupplesworth is there, remember?
He's too dangerous to be kept alive. I don't
Yeah,
remember
what is-
Pufflesworth being there. Huh.
What is Callista doing at the moment?
She's doing the slight busy work of just making sure all the wine bottles are label front, while not looking at her gloriously exuberant husband, trying to wave her off, blow kisses, and generally be his usual self.
She's not interested in her husband. You might have a chance, Cornelius. I
Oh,
mean,
no,
look at
she's-
her.
Yeah,
Look at her
that's-
Oh no,
finesse
she's
as well.
smiling. It's just, you don't want to see that in front of company.
Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
On the bright side, Cornelius,
Yeah,
you did get that smug satisfaction. You won. He said we could be perfectly casual here, but he was the fool who was casual first.
Yeah. After all, he straight up said, "Well, you're definitely more likely to have my daughter than anyone else." I think that's being pretty fucking casual. Yeah, I think this is a good point to probably start walking over to Callista then, if she's basically singled out over at the wine corner.
Your natural terrain.
Another prey is in the predator's natural habitat. The winery.
He always gets like that, but it's entertaining. It's amusing. It's only because he enjoys life. From here to
Well,
here, as she just points at a wine flute from top to bottom.
well, I suppose there is. I would suppose there is some joy to celebrate with the fact that you could celebrate that your daughter was brought back.
Every day. I mean, we've been celebrating, not that he's been getting like that.
So believe that. I believe that during our last meeting there was some information that probably could have been shared. Oh, hang on. Did I lose sound?
No, we're just waiting for you to finish the
Okay.
sentence.
Yep, we're
Okay.
waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, it was just my headset at the same time made a boop boop like it was running out of power, so I thought that it had run out.
Hmm.
I do believe that we had a certain colleague from Fredalen we both know.
Well, yes.
So
You've talked about
and
it
you're also
before.
there. Yeah.
You've got the look at the woman who's just going, this isn't new information.
Yeah. Yeah. It was more an opening for her to maybe start opening up. So perhaps you can start. Maybe you could help us fill in some of the blanks that the local libraries are not very eligible to fill us in on.
I only know so much about the area. What's part of the problem?
Well, it is more that we seem to be lacking names and ideas of events that have been happening during the making of the city, and at least for the last 100 years.
Actually, the last 100 years haven't been too much of an issue, apart from the toy maker.
Okay, well, that's kind of what I felt like.
Yeah, but
it felt like that was a lot of.
It's the centuries before where it's a real issue.
Mm.
Like, you've got the mention of the war with the Northern Kingdom, and that's
Okay.
kind of it. You know, then you just got the names of successions and whatnot between the minor nobles.
Okay, then I'll switch my question up with. Well, there's still a lot of issues. Well, not issues. Some things I do not quite understand, like the bishop that had disappeared and the missing royal family.
The Archdeacon, yes, that one is a particularly worrying type.
What's the archdeacon? Sorry.
Yeah.
I said the
Don't
same
worry,
term.
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah.
He was doing something of a consecration tour. It's something that's done every decade, I think it was. Make a few stops to various sites, but I mean, months ago he should have been here. He didn't leave alone, of course. There was a full entourage, but none of them have been seen. It's not overly surprising, but it is worrying. There's all kinds of traditions and his post can't be filled until there's confirmation.
Do you have
How
any
many
idea of?
people have been?
Oh,
I
no,
was
do
supposed to say,
finish because I think it's the same. I think it was the same question. Yeah.
it's like, have there been people sent out after him to find out where he's been? It just seems shocking that nobody's been able to locate what's happened.
Oh yes, there are several. It's all having to be dealt by with the church, their own knights. The two orders here are not allowed to interfere in those sort of matters. After all, if one order were to rescue the archdeacon or locate him and then spend some established time with him, it might alter his judgment. Such as favoring certain applicants to an empty throne. And despite going there to speak with him daily on different matters, they don't talk back all that much. Certainly on internal affairs.
Do you know what these sites that need to be consecrated are?
Well, now let's turn to our map, shall we? Where the fuck did I put that map? Yeah, there we go.
Whoosh.
Been a while.
Yep.
So,
Look at all the things we've done.
compared to the things you've not done, it's not that proud. Oh yeah, should actually mark out a little bit more. Doo-ba-doo. I mean, there is the fact that you did do the Cobalt Mine, which was actually about here.
No, not here.
Not there.
Because there was a pickaxe.
That is a different mine site. That is one that is known. It was very important for the Cobalt one, but it's not generally known.
Ah.
But yeah, she will point out a few places. You unfurl your map on the table and set some Cheez-Its and crackers onto the side to stop it rolling over. Importantly, one of the first stops was Fort Dernshaw, an island fortress. He is said to have made his way around some of the... Like, it's not just Ermon's Mound here. There are other crypts and notable places here in the hills. It's just you guys were on a sort of a bullet focus. And a few of them have to be reconsecrated. Then, he always makes a customary stop to the Black Rose Winery. That one, you know, the consecration is a bit more in quotes. Mainly just to refill. Then it is back to the city, through the lake, through the verdant fields, to bless the fields, of course. Then some time is spent at the Brayburn farm. Then, across the bridge, usually he will spend some time at the Zephyrin Manor. This is more of sort of a sabbatical period, though, to rest after all the weary traveling, and probably to get through most of the Black Rose Winery gifts. Then there is a couple of crypts around the Yolvitz Barrows. As she's remarking this, she does point out, like, there are meant to be notable ancestors of some of the families and a few old family plots and crypts that have not been relocated since, but she's not able to recall names. Then, a little bit of a relaxation in Fort Packbreak. Before going right round there through Korriban Village to Fort Tusk's map. And that's where he should have been returning to Raxis City. She doesn't know how many of these he's hit along the way. But Tusknap is the end of it. He doesn't go to the Fellowwind Mountains, doesn't go to the Balak Estate. And doesn't go any further east. She also points out that he does not. There's no particular site he goes. There's no particular point of the journey where he goes to Castle Raxis because that is where he normally resides.
Oh, so I presume that the only real way to figure out where he went, where he has been and hasn't been, is by going to some of these places in order. Then.
Well, as I've said, it's just because the church isn't very forthcoming with information. We don't know how many of these places he's been to now. Some people might. I mean, certainly at the fields. A lot of the farmers would remember his passage. It does have a bit of a procession to it. As said, he travelled with about partial company of their knights. So they never went unprotected.
Would imagine it would also have been quite a. It would be quite an event each decade for when the deacons comes about.
Not as much as you'd think, honestly, when it comes to the regular populace. It's just a case of to go out to play. They have to go out to these places, say a few prayers, make a little bit of a scene, but 10 years between events, it's that big a deal when you're busy working. Might take the children out to see it, but it's more of something to have an excuse for a festivity or whatnot here. Remark on the good deeds and the charitable contributions that we've all made to the temples. Which you can obviously interpret as competition. While they're doing this, let's talk about how much I have done for them compared to you. You, my favorite guest. Hello there, I am far better than you.
Is this normal for rich people? I guess.
Yeah, Cornelius picks up on it immediately. It's all about jockeying for position and prestige. Something he's had to watch and not really be involved in, both for his age and his family standing. And also Neverwinter being pretty much fucked in 5e.
Well, I think that's because they just keep her like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make it for games, and then they just decided not to touch it.
Well, no, it was also a case of like they decided, yeah, big explosion, earthquakes, volcano. Yeah, city's in recovery right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We'll
Being
get
a
a book
noble
sometime.
of. Yeah, so being a noble of Neverwinter at the moment doesn't carry as much weight as it used to.
Yeah, because the current guy in charge points out he is not a king or a ruler, so he can't agree to anything they want to change up. That's okay. Everyone loves Neverember. What a great guy.
No.
Yeah, it's easy to surmise that you don't have to go to all these places.
Yeah.
There's a few you can go to where you could just ask. And that would pretty much cut out the rest of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you marked them down.
Yep.
You took notes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like Burden Fields would definitely be.
Yeah, the easiest.
Yeah, that'd be the easiest because if it was there, well, that basically means that we either have to go to the east.
Always to the east.
And if he hasn't been there, well, then that means that we either had to go to Fort Durnshire, Mount, or Black Rose Winery.
Don't forget the Braeburn farm.
Well, wasn't that after Worden Fields?
Yep.
Yeah, so if he hasn't been to Worden Fields, we don't have to go to Braeburn Farm. At least logically we wouldn't have, but it would also seem there's some villages nearby who would have noticed if on the way, so you could make like a...
Yeah, there are more places that are unmarked
Yeah,
than
so you
marked.
Yeah, so you could make a... this way to check the way back if he hasn't been to Worden Fields.
Mm-hmm. Any follow-up or change of topic?
Well, just gotta slightly push the part, push the matter if she has any clue as to what happened to the rest of the royal family. Just as a rumor. Wink, nudge.
You mind? My daughter's right there.
I am
Wink, wink,
age
nudge,
blind,
nudge.
my dear.
But sir, you're ring blind. Especially with your good lady wife right beside you.
What?
And her valet. Or boy toy as it is.
No, no, no.
What, you wouldn't say that Horizon West is the boy toy?
Not a...
No, if anybody would be a boy toy, it'd be Cornelius, but he wouldn't be fun.
That's He's an educational toy. What have you got? Some wooden blocks that teach you shapes. Anything to go with them? Nope. Just blocks and shapes. They're not even
She's
colorful.
frustrated. She's frustrated. She just keeps putting them all into the square hole.
Fucking love that video.
Yeah.
I will admit there was the one time where they had a star shape and I managed to put the triangle through the star.
We don't talk about ladies' night. Honestly, there's not been a lot of chatter in that regard, but I mean, it's not because there's a lack of rumor. Most that seems to be consistent enough is that the daughter, the princess herself, is alive. But there's been very little talk of the queen. And this is all baseless rumor now.
Of course.
It is that they are being held against their will, and not by the Grey.
And not by the Grey. Oh.
You might have to speak up there so he gets the clue.
Oh, not the orcs.
Ah, right, yeah. I keep forgetting that they're Grey in the city.
And it really makes it really, really annoying to find artwork. Because they're not even proper grey. They're like a green grey.
Yeah.
If they were just grey, it'd be
well.
easy. I could look for monochrome orcs, but those... No, it's fucking like a greenish grey.
Why can't we just call them greenskins and be done with it?
Because that's racist.
Yeah, because Grey is so much better.
Well, in this case, she's trying to be a little coy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just more that the Grey also sounds like a family. So it's therefore I was like, wait, who the Grey?
Could be.
Mm-hmm. I see. And what would the chatterer on the street say would then be holding her?
There's a little
So I
furrow
can-
of her brow there as she takes a long sip. You don't think you've said anything wrong, just that she's already told you the answer.
Mm.
Yeah.
If they're not held by the grey, and they're certainly not held by the blue,
Yeah. Well,
that,
there was
that
more.
just leaves two other
stupid-
colors.
Yeah, there was just more if there was like maybe someone that wasn't being thought of.
Perhaps.
But yeah, when you say it's supposed to be understood that clearly, then yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I guess I could do. And
You want to roll an
Do you
insight
want
or
to roll
something
an
to see how
ins-
much you pick up?
yeah,
I would assist.
How are you insisting him in his own thoughts?
yeah.
Give me an idea of that. Come on, what are you doing? He
Wouldn't
is
that be
thinking
more
to himself.
interaction?
How are you? How are you joining in?
She's nudging him with an
using-
elbow because he can see, no, you're on the wrong track.
Exactly. I'm using telepathy.
Okay, so
Ah,
Go on.
roll
you've got-
insight at disadvantage then. Yeah.
Yeah, she's distracting you. No, go ahead. Roll again. You've got your advantage because she's just jostling you to reset your thoughts. Yeah, again, you can. The orcs are discounted. She didn't mention any other color.
yeah.
So that's one side. Like, if she's pointing out it's definitely not the gray, then that's them. But she didn't say anyone else.
Yeah, because she is kind of, she is keeping you could say, her cards to herself, because if she is wrong and starts setting us in the wrong direction, that could have dire consequences. But she could at least, but she knows
No,
that
with the 16,
not
it's
one
not
place.
just that.
Okay.
She's also just making sure that you're only discounting the orcs when it comes to the royal family issue.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
yeah,
it
that's
is
what I mean.
people.
She didn't say the gray and the blue.
Mhm.
She just said the gray.
So it can, in theory, be blue or pink.
Or white.
True.
Those are the four main colors you've spotted. But that's only because Roll20 doesn't have Octarine.
Well, I know. Rain is going to check to see if Cornelius wants to push anymore, because if not, she's going to try to do a subject change.
Phrasing.
You could.
Are you going to push anymore, or
Okay,
shall I
so-
just do it myself with something else?
Jeez. You could take over.
Okay, so just as a reminder, because this was a long time ago, and my memory gets fuzzy.
That's why you
Before we got into Rax, yes. Well, the mountain with the hands had the castle on top. Yes.
Yes, although you guys were... Let's do this here. So, you guys were over here, basically. Man, my color does not show up well on this map. Hang on, let me change that. There we go. We'll just go pure white for now. There we go. So you guys were over here, basically. You were very near the coast.
Was that? Did that? They say that was the castle, the Raxis castle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
That
there it
Raxis
is.
cast is over here. Yeah. All right, you can. She can't see it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
can't
right,
see
yeah.
it.
Braider, screen cap it and put it in Discord. I forgot. Yeah, you're on the same mountain range, basically, but you're way off to the left, and the castle is far on the right.
Hang on, I can make a quick screen cap here.
Okay, well, yeah, that's all I needed to know. Was that was the mountain? The castle's on the mountain with the hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And you
she
know,
would.
and you also know that mountain is not very old as mountains go.
Yes. there was one thing I was thinking of from a historical point that I'm a bit confused about. That mountain for which the castle's sitting on, why was that not in any of the texts that we read about?
Um, the Raxis Mountain wasn't. Pardon? The mountain that the castle sits on.
Yes.
How do you mean it wasn't? What kind of history were you
Oh,
looking up?
we've been looking back, and we went a fair bit back. Can somebody throw me a lifeline? How far back did we read where we found that it wasn't there?
Yeah, the mountain 300 years old. Basically at the climax of the war with Alchemia.
About first mention we can see of it was about 300 years ago in the war with Alchemia. That one instance. I just was confused.
I am too. I mean, the castle has stood there for most of the kingdom's life.
She looks very puzzled.
So does she.
She kind of pauses and goes, so, at least, has that mountain always had the hands that are coming out of it? Or is that a new thing?
Again, confusement on her face.
Right, I think my lady will need some context for why we have come to this conclusion.
Yeah, that might be the case. Cornelius, do you want to cover the historical part, and then I'll cover the hand bit?
Yeah, I'm basically just giving her as to why we're suddenly talking about hands of a mountain, like regaling the story of the necromancers we met outside the city.
That is absolutely ghastly in so many ways.
Yeah, just mentioning that we were curious about it, so we had gone to the chapel that, not the chapel, the main temple that had the library underneath that you could visit. That's where we kind of found out about it.
I'm afraid I don't have any personal records that would help with this here. As we've said, our family used to be set in Boarside. Only generation or two ago that we began to be settled in the city itself. I hadn't heard anything of this. We've been to the castle several times, and on the approach there up the mountains, there's nothing like that.
I'm mostly trying to figure out if it's a new thing, or if this is something maybe it's designed to keep individuals from climbing up the back of the mountain.
I mean, it is sheer. I mean, now that I think about it, it does have an artificial look to it. Like you guys have seen it, it's sort of a box mountain kind of thing. Like, it is way too sheer and bluff to be proper.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a build-up. But no, on the road there and on the cliff faces we can see, there's no such feature of arms.
Yeah, they actually came out of the mountainside itself, because I didn't see any when I started climbing, and then...
Oh, you did. That's the whole reason you started climbing. You saw a hand with a shiny ring. You saw a shiny thing. That's the entire reason you went up there.
No, I thought the reason we went up there was to chase the wizard, and then I saw the shiny thing.
Yeah, it was basically to figure out if he just flew up or if he had teleported or what he had done.
Yeah, John had fun telling you, but no, he wetted his shoes with his water skin and slapped them up against the wall for a bit before just running.
Yep.
But no, the arms were there the whole time. And you looked
Yeah.
Oh,
up,
okay. So,
whenever you looked up and saw something shiny, it was a ring on one of them.
Mm.
yeah. Okay.
And then that happened.
Featherfall.
Everyone got to remember, oh right, she's the one who ran over to loot a zombie that fell. And got a face full of
I
worms
also
for it.
I also put pockets.
Uh-huh. Yep. When
More
you're under
pockets.
fire from artillery fire, what do? Do you run and hide? I make pockets.
It worked.
It's also when Cornelius was getting his belt stuffed by a giddy little kobold.
And Cornelius is like, "How did we get here? How did my life come to this?"
The strange thing is, they told me this every day when I was at Wizarding College, that these events would unfold.
I mean, say what you want about the Raxis party. We have priorities.
I fucking hate the divination class, so snooty as if they know everything that's coming up. God, the divination ones must be such jerks. They win every prank war.
I imagine they're also banned from the chess tournaments.
Chess tournaments, the card games, they don't get to have any fun.
So every time they have to enter something, they have to go. They have to try to disguise them to not be a wizard. Otherwise, they're going. Let me see your major. Evocation. How much of a soul loser are you?
They'll admit to being a necromancy student before they admit to being divination. No, I mean, necromancy is also the arts of resurrection and healing. Can you cast any of that? Well, no, that's for the clerics, but it's the same school of magic. But yes, she is quite confused by this now. So good job. You've made things awkward.
Well, now we've given her some very interesting information because that might be new.
Yes, it is new. You can tell.
But it also means that we now have an idea of what her scope of knowledge is, since she also mentions being from both sides. So it's limited what she actually knows about this far up in the country. What is the moment when we have like, this very odd conversation is Helvetica doing?
Oh, she's actually talking to Castalia. Just so we can involve players who've been sitting doing nothing for a while. You there, Pio? Yeah, it's up to you how much you want to share, but she's basically asking about, like, very quickly got to the topic of blacksmithing weapons and arms. And admittedly, she's trying to be delicate about asking about your outfit and why you take the battle in it. But she's also curious on Yosef and the forge you were talking about. You know, the day job.
Well, I'm more than happy to share information about the forge that I spend my days in these days when I'm here in town. It's a quaint little place. Yosef is a wonderful yet a hard blacksmith. Currently seeking a few more to take under his wing and teach the trade.
Oh, so he's understaffed then? I figured by now all the smithies would be working at full force.
They are, and it's just simply too much.
But surely to work underneath a dwarf would be a dwarf smith would be a fantastic honor. Should be having apprentices lining up.
I can't say I'm sure where they are.
We'll say that the mention of dwarvenness has caught Malgern's ear, although whether he walks over to it is a different matter. But they're talking about stunties.
Has the number of people heading into the city improved?
How loud are they talking? Because I wouldn't walk over, but I would take an
Conversational.
ear.
Yeah. Nothing's being hidden, but they're not blaring it out. And from what I've heard, yes, quite a bit, especially because it was you who kept, well, your group who kept the road going. But there's a lot of cell swords and the like coming in. It is amazing to see the different types as well. I mean, you've seen here we have a bit of some small gaps in population variety.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
there
Might
we
have
go.
to repeat that. Yeah, Pio was just off for a few seconds, so you might have to repeat.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's just mentioning that, yes, quite a lot, and it's interesting seeing the variety of people that have been showing up.
Oh?
Well, we do have a very small elven population here. And then there's the ones from the Eastern Kingdom of Jurat. Yes. They have those. Seeing people that are so. What was a term I heard before? There was a sellsword at the camp. He tried to pull that line, saying that he was sun blessed. That's how he described his skin color. He didn't. Sorry. Yes. He's one of the ones who didn't. But then there's also the those huge elephant men, and then so many colors of like your good man there, the dragon people. It's a new experience to see. Don't really have this kind here. So there's a lot to take in, a lot of new faces to see. And I have to admit, I did chuckle a little to see just the variety of different. Whenever you had them ranked up, we were recruiting before we left, and they have to stand in single file, but there's so many who are tall and short, fat and thin, just standing in a line there. It was amusing. Still such a shame.
A shame?
Well, it's just me and the other two who got out. The ones we hired, we pretty sure we're good for the job. It's just those Tanarooks are terrifying.
Absolutely. But it's best not to dwell on those who we have lost, but to think on those we can still yet save.
I know. A lot of people have been telling me that. It's something just to hear it. But yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna get out there soon. It's just it'll take a few more days.
Take all the time you need.
So, Joseph's that's is that in the Craftsman Quarter?
Mm-hmm.
It isn't actually. His is in the entertainment district.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a very small place.
Huh. Well, no, actually, it's in the entertainers district.
There is another bigger forge there as well. That's the one you saw where he's basically rivals with. Who've been getting all of the juicy contracts, and he's been getting shit to work on, bashing out hoes. Well, I do still have to fix the armor up, and he's overworked. He's overworked, you said, though.
Oh, but I'm down there helping, and I'd be more than happy to patch it up.
Thank you, Miss Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little curious. Could you excuse us a moment? Yeah, I'll just more wine, I guess. Maybe I'll learn what they're like in a mo. And the
This poor
moment you were
brat.
hoping for and dreading arrives. What can you tell me about Cornelius?
Oh dear.
Because
Dun, dun, dun.
he seems very comfortable as among the finery and all. But I remember him just walking up to that orc shaman. I mean, I've heard tales about wizards and adventuring parties and like they always seem to hang back. They don't expose themselves to danger. They're very calculating. But that was a real moment where he just seemed to throw caution to the wind. Is he always that kind of reckless? Your fate may be in the devil's hands, Cornelius.
I believe he's
Yeah.
one who understands that when it is best to play a card that must be played, he will play it.
He didn't look like a gambler.
He is not, but I think he knows best when to step forward when it's needed most.
And you've worked for him for a while?
Oh, yes.
I don't think she
For a
noticed the way
fairly,
she's phrased it.
for a good time.
She said, "Have you worked for him for a while?"
Not with.
I don't know whether to call them out on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's more if you wanted to correct what your relations is with Cornelius. Like, are you a employee and you want to correct that? No, we are basically partners.
Mm, no, that is true.
Just
No,
an
I'm just trying
employee.
to.
Yeah.
I'm
Go on.
just trying to remember if we still are using the cover story we came in with.
No, I think that basically fell apart immediately.
Everyone laughed at you because
Yeah, we gave up on that.
you arrived with your varied exotic inventory of a minotaur's axe and a flail snail shell. And you had no inclination to sell either.
We still didn't sell the damn axe.
I think you just
I
chucked it
sold
away at
both.
one point. Yeah, one of them went into business for himself.
With Mr. Sand.
Oh. I'm sorry. I just assumed you were bodyguards and escorts. So he's a proper adventuring man then.
He has something very dear to him he has to go and recollect, and I don't think anyone could be able to stop him.
Lest they did physical harm.
Well, now I have actually an escape method.
Huh. It's driven then.
Yes.
Be honest, when I first thought he was a nobleman with an entourage, maybe trying to rub elbows here. You do hear a few stories about them, usually disgraced or deposed, or just they weren't the heir in the family, so they go elsewhere where they can establish themselves.
Yes, yes, and yes.
She's got your number, man.
But knowing he's both, he does seem to have obvious noble bearing, but an adventurer as well, with a goal in mind. I didn't expect that. And what about was Rain, wasn't it? She doesn't have a surname. They do seem quite close. Well, to be fair, you are starting to get her questioning her mother.
Yeah.
I believe they share something of what the best way to say it? Arcane
Contempt.
inclinations?
I think the term you're thinking of is a repertoire.
They both study the arcane. And so sometimes they love to butt heads on differing opinions.
No, I thought she was a holy woman.
Oh, she is.
I noticed the inflection there. It's a little less sincere. And she just sort of shifts around, sort of stand with you and just sort of roving at the room. Gestures over at the sad dwarf. He might not be sad. You can't tell the expression.
I was gonna say he's not always sad.
Yeah.
Well,
You
okay.
can tell by
Is
the
he,
droopiness of the beard.
Yeah.
okay. Is he slowly shuffling left and right on his feet?
No, he's just,
Yeah,
he's
what's
kind of,
Malgard
he's got
doing?
a drink in his hand,
Is he
swishing-
looking? Go ahead.
He's swishing the liquid in his glass about, kind of just observing.
Okay, so he is sad because he's not actively drinking.
Wow.
But not sad enough to just never cease drinking.
It's a very fine level of dwarven sadness.
Yeah, you know there's something wrong when the dwarf stops drinking. Then that's when you know there's something wrong.
He's
No,
in a
he's just thinking
self-reflect-
about what Karagrim said earlier. That's all.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah, she's got something
Yeah.
to think about, which is rare.
He's self-reflecting.
I was meaning to ask his training, he seems quite a fighter.
He is, and very brave. I still recall the time when Cornelius's apprentice was taken from us, and he charged out without a stitch of clothing through the side of a wall to go and save him.
Through a fucking window.
I will embellish.
I don't know, I think the window is better in a way.
I don't know if he charges out through glass or solid wood.
Yeah, I suppose. It's about the aesthetics of it, really. Yeah.
Mm.
His apprentice.
When in actuality, it was when in actuality he just forgot that there was glass in the window.
Yep.
No, he just didn't think 1 second about it. He's just getting out there to get in a fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the great way to be. Charge.
Only after he got shot with the arrow did he realize going out without armor was probably a bad idea.
Still worked out fine. I don't think you had any big issues there.
I don't know. I think that halfling still wants his window back.
Yeah, well, I mean, none of the party, but whenever Siegfried did have that sip of wine where you get to see someone's dying moments, he recognized the face about to get eaten. So the halfling is no longer an issue.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Oh, that's.
I don't think
bad.
he ever shared that part, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love it when problems sort themselves out.
Well, the problem is the forest was still full of fucking giant spiders.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, the little goblin boy.
Yes, Droop.
It's an odd choice for an apprentice, I think. Don't really know much about these arcane types. There's only a few in the city after all, and it's not really seen. I haven't really had much reason to mingle with them. Nothing against them, of course. It's just you have to focus on the knighthood. I've only recently gotten the chance to go out to the front. You yourself, She She makes a little wiggle fingers gesture. Don't you?
Yes, I have some magical ability. Though I am not as learned as the others.
It's just you can see her eyes sort of drift to your horns for a moment. Is it just a natural thing? I have seen there's another lady tiefling around the city who's supposedly quite magically inclined.
Oh, you bet she is.
She knows about your other woman.
Cornelius's room, certainly.
Yeah. There you go, Cornelius. Now you know she knows about your other woman.
The problem is, does Cornelius?
No, he's not here for this conversation.
No, does Cornelius know about the other woman that she's that way?
No, I think it's pretty clear he does not. The only position he thinks she wants him in is a teaching one. Yeah, she's wondering just generally about you, Castalia.
Very little of it is natural, I'd say.
Almost hear the answers to say that there's very little that is natural about the magic holding in this woman.
It's always awkward during the family reunions when the fucking pit fiend shows up.
Could you pass me the potatoes?
Look at you, you're ready to go get some souls of your own, aren't you? Look at that, I've got you a soul coin. This one was a serial rapist and mugger.
Oh god.
But this is why I didn't pick Infernal as my pact.
Oh, so that means you're more demonic? Oh no, you're Pactor, that's right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking about your sub-race.
No, subrace is just generic.
Yeah. I mean, it would be fun that way. You take your Abyssal Pact and it's literally just a family member.
That's why I didn't.
Yeah, that way you don't have Mum giving you a call occasionally going, "Honey, have you been doing your chores?"
I don't know. If you want that bonus spell, all you have to do is pick up a carton of milk, clean up your room, do the laundry. It's fine. And then there's the little ones. Sorry, I don't think I actually did catch his name.
Zarzul?
Yes, your archer.
Yes. What would you like to know?
Oh, it's just he seems so different from the other kobolds. The ones I've seen around town. I wouldn't honestly have thought them the type to sling a bow or be that present in a fight.
Zarzul is 1 in a million.
I mean, because he's a kobold, that is literally the case, yes. In his tribe, he was 1 in the million of them.
Yeah, but he's a unique one.
We're all unique in our own special way.
I mean, you found out the blueprint he came from. And you're all working together, not for.
Yes, working together.
Well, would you want to refill or not?
Certainly.
Well, I would like to know some of the things you have gotten up to. I can't answer back myself. I don't have any stories yet from ones that you weren't involved in. But I hope to make up for that. But I'm curious. What have you gotten up to on your way here?
Hmm. Ah,
If you want assistance, you could always call over the contemplative dwarf or someone else.
I probably will call over the contemplated dwarf.
This is, among other things, a chance to big him up.
Malgern,
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't dozing off, I swear.
The
Sip
devil
some
calls
drink.
for you.
I hop off my stool, chair, whatever, toddle over.
It's a stool and a chair. You're short.
I was just
So-
about to begin recounting our journey here, if you'd like to share some of the stories as well.
Yeah, how far have we gotten?
We're just at the beginning.
So
Well,
I
see,
punched myself square in the balls, because fuck that dwarf.
Wait, refresh my memory. What?
The doppelganger at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
And also when you saw your reflection in a cave.
Yeah, about that reflection part. We don't have to talk about that. We just leave that part out.
I mean, even Puffeldorf at this point, I think, has worked out reflections. Nah, of course he hasn't.
Has he, though?
No,
Gonna
he
say.
has not. No fucking chance.
Say.
I don't even think he's seen very shiny armor.
Yeah, he has. Congrats is there.
Oh, true. Well, there'd be probably very distorted reflections there.
Yep. Yes, your friend Miss Talia was about to begin, but I'm just interested. It's about,
Interested in anything in particular?
well, of course, exploits. You're meant to be a very fine warrior. I saw some evidence of that.
And I'm kind of elbowing Castalia, like, do we tell her? You know.
I'm sure you get a look back of what do we tell her? There's a lot we could tell her. There's a whole list we could tell her. What do we tell her?
I was thinking of, just with the stories, the encounters we've had.
The time
All right,
you
what's the
slept
most
in...
embarrassing Cornelius story I can think of?
Probably before you met Castalia, actually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I figured it. Just trying to think for a minute.
There was that. I mean, there was that time he was meant to go in and question a banshee.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, you guys were sitting outside waiting, of course, and then you were able to overhear the fact that he prattled on so much in a formal way. She got bored and left. He was so busy trying to flatter her and keep on going in the formal speech, but she got bored.
You know what? We'll start there. I'll be like, what? She wanted to know, like that time that Cornelius bored a banshee. Yeah, he told me she just up and left.
Oh no, you saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she just up and left.
She glances back over at Cornelius, who's chatting with her mother and Rain.
How bored does the mother look at this point?
Oh no, she's having a nice chat. You don't know if it's sincere or not. She might just be a big professional at this, Cornelius.
True.
And to be fair, we did kind of just baffle her with something that she hadn't heard about.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
It's awkward, but you're doing kind of well on the novelty factor. She just looks back at Melgar. I can see that. I'm sure he's gotten better, but I can imagine that. Lord knows.
I look over at Cornelius. I was like, yeah, you can kind of see it.
Well, it's not just him, it's all of the types. I mean, I've had to reject so many suitors, and I've had to wait half an hour to an hour. I've watched my food grow cold before I could tell them no thank you when I finally had a chance to speak.
You can't just tell them.
Mm, if they were talking to me like in the stables or in the barracks, yes, easily. But when they come to dinner, you have to sit them out and listen.
Because this is kind of a foreign concept.
It's honestly why I prefer
It's-
to spend my time in the barracks. That's unseemly whenever you're, a fresh graduate. You have to be in the public eye, so to speak.
Graduate in what exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
She gives a little tug to a little blue neckerchief she's got. To the knighthood. I mean, it's not quite the same as as an education system, but it still comes with a moment where you were a squire and now you're a knight.
Hmm.
A lot of years, but good ones. Much more enjoyable than. You were at one of the parties before, yes. Like those kind of affairs. It's not really for me.
Agreed. I don't really enjoy high society parties.
Well, at least this is a private. This is a small one, and you can talk freely. I think we'll leave it to your Elias Fair and my parents. They can talk as formally as they wish, and Carragher, of course, he's just that way inclined. But please, you can feel free.
I would gladly go over stories of the swamp and Cedar Knowe.
Which probably starts out with, okay, everybody, let's tie this together so we don't get lost. And then the first encounter where fucking Malgern charges and leaps into the swamp water, dragging the entire party with him.
You need to learn to keep up.
Or do you try to edit it down?
I try and edit it to make, the party look better.
The entire party?
As much of the party as I can.
Well, no, it's about preference here. Like, you could edit these easily. I mean, she's going to believe you. Do you want everyone to look good? Or is there someone you want to take the fall a little bit?
No, nobody. I don't want anyone to take the fall in Central.
I mean, who needs to know that Rain was actually doing quite well in the swamp?
Hey.
You could tell her about the time that Cornelius was able to kill only 2 maggots with a thunder wave. And that was a fail on the save, too.
Or the wonder that was the pit in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say the time that Malgern almost murdered Rain accidentally by falling.
No, he almost murdered Siegfried accidentally by falling.
No. He would. Here's the thing: if he had rolled 1 to 4, Rain would have been dead.
Yeah,
she
but
was
I
on her
don't
last
know
saving
that.
throw.
Yeah, but Castalia wouldn't know that. So it'd be more of just the time there was a loud yelp as Malgern landed on Siegfried.
A dwarven imprint in his ankle. Yeah.
It took so long before he got a proper heal on it.
And of course, before that, there was the kobold leaping up onto the coffin.
Yep.
And then hearing an echoing moo from beneath.
Which is still a mystery to me how anyone, considering the bad luck we had in those catacombs of every coffin we touched, had something happen.
My favorite part of that is I had laid out specifically which coffins and which little bits would have traps.
And he stood on all of them.
Every single one. But then the flip side is when you were escaping and the place was collapsing, I also assigned which tiles were trapped or not, depending on like the stuff falling in. And you managed to dodge all of those. It was just all or nothing. but it was just wonderful. Yeah, you realize as you try to make sure that everyone sounds competent and good at their job, you realize the stories are a little shorter this time. There's a little bit left on the cutting room floor. Not too much, but a little bit.
And we're just editing it as is customary in Raxis.
Yeah. Just putting a bit of a shine on it. And she is just awestruck whenever you talk about the Hydra. Probably, I mean, do you include Droop's spell?
I would include it assisted, but not what it exactly did.
Or that it affected some of the party as well. Alger, and you still remember what it could have been like to be a mother. And
Poor
yeah,
Pufflesworth was very confused.
yep, he will always have that confusion in his life.
Oh, there you go. There's an ace in a hole to use over him. You can threaten that spell on him again.
Wow, that's inhumane. Wow.
Well, yeah, he's an owlbear.
I'm trying to figure out which of Droop's spells shouldn't be considered war crimes.
Lark vision. You
Yeah.
just see everyone as various kinds of bird.
Or park vision.
Yeah.
But healing sword is definitely a war crime.
No,
In a weird way.
that's just something that would get him up to a tribunal of wizards. Boy, you have overstepped your bounds. We don't heal here. We only make the world worse. Of course, there's one of our favorites.
Continual blame. So yeah, I'm just waiting for him to cast Snark Vision.
I've already got 3 types of vision.
But what if the snark is a boojum?
No, Snark isn't snarky.
Oh, Snarf vision. You can only see that little shit from, what was it, She-Ra? Or, no, it was Thundercats.
No, that was a Snarf.
Yeah,
Not
that's
a
what I
snark.
said. It could be Snarf vision.
Oh. See, then that would be a war crime.
This one definitely is. Mind Pike is definitely a war crime.
Yeah.
Oh, Mind Pike is definitely a war crime.
Except it says pike, so you're not sure if it's a fish or the weapon.
No, it says in the
Yes.
description. But no, I
Target
thought it
said
said the
ruptures a
fish.
large.
Okay, hang on. I'll have to change that then. I could have sworn it said fish. Okay, there we go. It's fixed.
I imagine
There you
Cloud of Badges is definitely war crime material
You
as
don't
well.
know if they're just magically conjured or not because things remain afterwards.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part of the spell was the badgers remain.
It's like with the rat in the hat.
And of course, Tasha's hideous slaughter. Make something laugh so much that they are injured by it. And they can't stop laughing. And next time he's going to start getting level 3 spells.
Oh no.
But yeah, she is completely enraptured in your storytelling. Let's see here. If you
I'm
want...
waiting for.
Hmm?
I'm waiting for Choir Ball, where you are hit with the sound of a church choir for 8d6 sonic damage.
Well, as you may have noticed, in general, there is a conjuration element to it, except for slaughter.
So you'd be hit by a literal church choir
Yeah,
section.
an actual choir would smack you. And of course, let's not forget Minor Illusion. Which, honestly, he should be using more if he didn't know about it. But yeah, give me a performance roll. But we're going to do this fun. It's going to be advantage from Malgern. Because I assume he's chipping in plenty as well. Yeah, you're not just sitting there listening to her.
No, I wouldn't just be sitting there.
Yeah.
All right, so performance with advantage.
From Malgern.
Yes, I think I roll it with advantage is what he
Yeah,
means,
because
right?
if I give advantage to Pio, she's gonna fucking stomp it because she's a tiefling dancer. See, what we see here is what Malgern would have done by himself and what he did with assistance. But luckily, it's a low DC. She is enthralled by the story. You can tell she is paying a little more attention to whenever Cornelius is brought up as an element. But then she's also pretty focused on Malgern's doings, too. Like, it's not that she's ignoring the rest, but she's interested in the man who saved her and the warrior, the guy who has nothing magical about him. It's just brawn, it's just cold steel. And with
She
the
has
heavy
a
editing.
type. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as a knight, she has a type. Zarzul, you're just standing there.
Just having a snacking at the crackers, cheese on crackers. Quite good.
I imagine you're doing it Scooby-Doo style, just stacking them up. Wolfgang waiting patiently for his share of it.
One for Zazzle, one for Wolfgang. One for Zazzle, two for Wolfgang.
He just does that thing of, he puts his head fully upwards, vertical with a snout, opens a jaw, and then it just all slides in as a column.
Just slowly grazing our way down the table.
Yep.
Does Wolfgang have any relatives? I feel like there should be a relative episode.
There could be,
I
depending on
imagine
where
they're
you
probably
go.
far away.
Well, not even a relative.
Because we got Scooby Dum and Scrappy Doo. Yeah.
Oh no.
You've already got a Scrappy Doo and you know it. He's got to try and work out now. Do I mean Pufflesworth or do I mean Malgern? Who is the Scrappy here?
It's me.
It's Pufflesworth, obviously, for fuck's sake.
I know, that was
The constant theme is him charging in and people trying to hold him back. On the bright side, though, he's loved, unlike Scrappy. Scrappy is unloved. They canonically got a fucking image of... Was it they got a statue of him in some Scooby museum where it's like Fred and Daphne going, don't think about him?
Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's in one of the cartoon
I mean-
movies, yeah.
And let's not forget the first movie.
Yeah, perfect casting. So is there any further conversation topics that are prompting to mingle with the Boarhens or Karagrim?
None that I can think of.
No.
Nothing lore-wise you want to find out? But you think they might know, of course.
Rain doesn't want to do too much pushing.
Spoken like a true elf.
Well, I mean, what do you have in mind of questions?
That's the thing. It's in your mind, not mine. I am giving you the opportunity to talk to people who
No,
are
no,
in some-
I was talking to Rena.
Ah.
Like, Rena, what was, since you said you didn't want to ask questions, what question did you have in mind?
Yeah, you take a step away, refill your drinks, get to chat a little bit. Just you and Cornelius here. And Zarzul.
Well, I'm not particularly sure because you see, it's obvious that there are other questions to be had, but I'm not sure. I don't think they know very much about the wizard situation. Obviously, she doesn't know about the mountain. I doubt very many people here would. And I strongly doubt anybody here would know why a bunch of necromancers have suddenly decided to show up for no reason whatsoever.
I mean, there is also the issue with the necromancers in that no one's talked about them. Like, you haven't heard rumors or anything about that there of the undead walking around or anything. Apart from one.
Yeah, because
One little thing came up.
To be fair, we haven't really seen the undead wandering around very much.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of necromancers here, but they're not doing anything.
Well, if you were dead, that's why.
I mean, Glassstaff's still out there.
Yeah. So is the Black Spider. So is Hamon Cost. So is pretty much every villain in that module. Venom Fang's on the fucking cover and you guys didn't bother meeting him.
And you wonder why Malgern considers himself a failure. They're all still out there.
And then we have the naked necromancer.
The only one you yeah, the rest are still out there, and she got menaced by a pack of shitty goblins.
Yep.
Don't worry, she's still out there. The only, I think the only ones you killed were the bugbear leaders. Because, I mean, Yemek got away and established himself quite nicely. You even did him a solid. It's always fun to think about that, isn't it?
I mean, we also helped out the other. We helped out Glassstaff.
Yep. At no cost.
We just have to admit, we just have to admit we're very bad at killing things.
Oh, that's the best part. You helped them out twice at no cost.
Yeah, we're just bad at this whole thing.
But,
We
on the bright
never
side,
asked
not a lot's
Drew
gotten
what
away
the
from you
castle
here.
is.
You took down Viones and a hag.
Mm-hmm.
One of the hags.
I think the only reason we did that was because they weren't running away.
We took down the Gophias tree.
Yep. Although the
Well,
shaman
the hag,
did get away.
hag was running away. I chased down the hag.
Yeah, he could see her.
I was about to say, can a tree run away from us?
Well, it wasn't the tree that was the big problem. It was the archdruid. And if you remember, when you got to his corpse, it was just a skin flap, and there was a tunnel buried beneath it. Oh, you forgot that bit, did you?
Gotta be honest, that's been way
Maybe.
too far long ago.
I know, you always keep track of
Yeah.
your villains.
No, we make a point of not keeping track of villains.
We let them all run away, and then things happen.
Then you socialize with one of them.
But don't worry. A random succubus will show up eventually.
Potentially. I mean, you guys haven't really spent your time around the fest halls. But yeah, with that, just a general sort of level of chatter, very nice, pleasant. A few more drinks. It's not a case of getting absolutely sloshed here and hammered, but
Yeah.
it's gotten late enough, it's time to say goodbyes, farewells, and whatnot. At this point, Redenbach decides to join you all. My place is nearby here, so simply walk with you.
Ah, yes, of course.
That would be most enjoyable.
As you then walk in silence. Because no one has anything to talk about.
So I would be chatting with my cat.
Speaking of chatting with the cat, hey buddy.
He's trying to be polite about it, but he's still a little bit amused at Degratz's lack of skill when it comes to identifying wines. It has to be the issue with breathing fire all the time. That must do such a number on the taste buds.
Well, he does add a lot of spices to the meals.
Yeah, potent shit. You can feel the heat come off it when it's on the dish.
Yeah.
It could also be he's just not used to the experience.
Yeah, I'm not. Here, by the way. Hi.
I can hear you. Yes.
Just looming over you all.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's because he's too busy being a hero.
I hope that was set in character.
It was.
At which point he stops looming. Just a big arm around his tiefling, and more importantly is the fact that you guys don't even need a lantern. He's a fucking radiant beacon as you walk along.
It does also mean that our night vision is fucked.
It's like my night vision.
It'll take a few days, but I'll put together proper actual rewards for the job you have done for my people.
Is this Renenbach
Yeah.
saying this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, he has stopped talking in that crackly way whenever he was giving that lecture to you. Like, he's standing up a lot taller as well.
You mean he's talking like a person?
Well, more importantly, he's not acting like an eccentric.
Yeah.
But
Much
you're
appreciated.
Rain just very calmly. Yes, we appreciate that. She looks very amused.
We were more than happy to help.
happy is all well and good, but it should be rewarded too. You've helped my people. You're basically part of a Renin box. Congratulations there.
Thank you very much.
You've shown you are proper friends. Of course, one of you has already been rewarded.
I'm going to beam with pride.
Now Gurn takes a second. He's like, he's not referring to the. Oh, he's not referring to the mines. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is referring
He
to.
looks at you, Malgar, when he
Yeah.
says that one of you's already been rewarded. Almost like he helped himself.
Fuck off. I see nothing wrong with what I did.
But let's see here. I mean, can't have you go away empty-handed at this point here. There's a few little bits of yip-yak, as he calls over his spouses. And there is just a cluster of rings and necklaces that are coming off. In goes the little monocle thing to take a look closer. Yes, I believe that's enough. The rings you can do whatever you wish with, but the stones should be of a good value.
Are you sure about this?
Absolutely, very easy to come by this stuff.
Well, now Cornelius doesn't want it.
Well, it was more like we're worried, like the medic. It was more of an indication of like it doesn't need to come with any payment this immediate, like to give up their jewelry.
You've done my people proud. You kept our greatest champion alive. So yeah, I don't want to risk losing any of you right now.
Oh,
There's a war on. He looks at you as if, did you just learn
yeah,
that?
well, yeah. That was what. No, it was more like it sounded like he was referring to there was gonna be a job up soon where he was.
Well, there could be. But I figure you guys want some downtime to do things, right? You've got things planned, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Cornelius has a busy schedule.
Yeah. We know Castalia does. She's got an itinerary.
I have almost a full day planned every day.
Good. We know Zarsil doesn't.
Yep.
Day has begun. There's a chance I will smoke a bowl tonight. It increases.
Chance?
It increases with every passing minute. And then you get, after a few steps to the awkward tower you can see that's kind of like the marking of a roundabout. It's got no yard or anything like that, no gates. It's just a very tall, narrow tower. It's about as broad as Malgern is at the door. And then there's just like a couple of inches either side of that for the wall. Well, this is me.
Yes, well, it has been a very lovely evening, Redenbach. And I do hope that you'll be able to have your industries up and going again. Should we not talk?
Well, that won't be the case, which is why I'm having to reward you all now, and there will be some more diamonds. Probably saw them on your way out, didn't you? Or your way back in, sorry.
The war party that was leaving the city.
Security compromised, strange creatures unknown. Can't be trusted to one that doesn't have a color. We'll see about that. I have contracts, I have documents. And he's not even sitting on the throne. But for now, it's delayed. For now, it's an issue. But yes, safe travel, you all. Have a good evening. And I'll put in word if you ever want to see me. Just ask at the gate. As said, your friends here, you're welcome. You make sure to give each of you, one scaly hand, then clasps his other over the top of yours for a handshake with each one. And then as he enters his tower, you see that as the door opens, you can see fucking rooms upon rooms beyond there. The dimensions of the building itself mean diddly squat.
Is this a wizard's tower that he's managed to get his hands on?
I mean, someone can roll Arcana.
Ah.
Someone with suspicions, maybe to voice them. Or you could even just ask him.
Who had this tower before you got it?
Oh, the tower. It wasn't one... well, I suppose I bought the means of creating it from a friend.
Okay, very interesting.
Yes. It wouldn't give me any real plot of land here. After all, our people are just little upstarts. But to hell with that, I say. My home might not look like much on the outside, but inside it is lavish. Magnificent, if you will. Yes, Cornelius, this is wizard bullshit. It's probably the first time you felt it, especially towards a kobold. Envy.
Wait until I get the spell. Just you wait when I just need to stay in one place for a year.
The party all get immediately reminded that all you've been able to summon is a tiny hut.
Yeah.
A little log cabin.
Actually, that was a part of me that was about to choose for my 5th level spell. I think that was one of the from the newer was like a much larger building you could summon instead of tiny hut.
Well, I know there is. I've shown you before. There's like it's in one of their like charity modules. It lets you straight up cast a wizard tower. So we'll see how that goes.
But I was also like, no, I have one spell I could choose right now. I should probably not do it on that. I should probably pick something a little more useful.
It's our party chosen useful things.
When you found that wizard spell book. That had some nice backup spells, like Fireball. Because that great moment of Cornelius doesn't want to be a cliche wizard. I don't want that spell. All wizards have. I want that spell. That's a good spell.
Well, it's not so much that, it was more that I think I am going to need this spell because I need to do some serious amount of DPS for some of this we're going to meet. Just didn't want it
I
to
love
be the
Cornelius
immediate.
doesn't want to be the stereotypical wizard. Mm-hmm.
Well, he isn't.
Cornelius.
He even shaved.
Gross.
In my bouts of wizardry paranoia.
Which was on point, yes.
Mm.
That was so good, too. All those times of, you seem a little familiar. Oh? Quickly get those fake passports made. And find out it's because you're famous, in a way.
And also that he's chosen the name of his famous brother.
That was intentional, but still kind of dumb. Because if he uses that name as
that was a pretty
recognized, that
dumb
means
move.
Well, no, because as Scotch can attest, like, if he uses that name as recognized, he can point out that, my brother is here. It's a calculated risk, that one. Very wizardly. Although unwizardly in that he was the one taking the risk. No, you get your henchman to do that.
So that's why he wanted Droop.
That's why I hired Malgern.
I mean, yeah. I do have that thought in the back of my mind every once in a while.
He told you that guy called you an asshole.
Exactly, and then I was on the floor. Once is a coincidence, twice is suspicious.
And yeah. There's a few more guard patrols at night. It's a little bit mismatched in equipment. You can tell they've got some more mercenary work hired. But yeah, it's a pretty uneventful walk back home. To relax, luxuriate, stretch, and get away from the stuffy formalness of it all. So for you, Cornelius, it's probably a bit disappointing. You've come back to a commoner's house.
I mentioned, I asked Cornelius if he thinks patients might know who had to do with Rinnenbock's tower.
Well, you only mentioned make the creation of Cobalt House.
She might know something about the tower as well.
Maybe. Might be worth bringing it up to her.
And yeah,
Probably asking her tomorrow when I'm going to require her assistance in tracking down my brother tomorrow anyway.
She's probably at your desk again.
Maybe.
Okay, is there any sounds from the house?
Yes.
From when you rolled the dice.
You want to roll perception to have any idea of what kind of sounds?
Yeah, I think I better.
$10. Nice. Yeah, there's definitely someone stepping around. I mean, you can see him as well. It's Orbinson.
Okay.
He seems to be talking with Ogden Gay.
Oh, good. I'm
Okay,
gonna.
so at least he wasn't murdered by Popplesworth.
We can always hope the other thing happened. I'm gonna cast Locate Object again, but this time looking for the dragon mask. I think I at least saw that.
Well, yeah, of course you did.
So is that within 1,000 feet of us?
It
Probably
does not
not.
ping.
But, okay. Was thought maybe that it had been hidden locally, but yeah.
You tried your best.
Yeah.
So
And
what are
it
you
wasn't
doing?
enough. I'm just it's ability I've just recently gained to search out an object within 1,000 feet. If it's around, I would know it. And I was
Very
looking for
useful
the
when the
dragon
munchies
mask.
hit.
Oh.
With one casting, he can always find where the closest pack of chocolate hobnobs are.
Like, where did I accidentally leave my stash of weed this time?
Mm-hmm.
1,000 feet might not be enough, depending on for how long the blackout was.
Yeah, but hey, it's a chance at least.
Does it have limitations by material?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Still doesn't ping, but I'm just checking with that one.
Oh,
Nope,
wrong
not
one.
that one.
I missed.
Just lead. Okay. But that's it. Still doesn't ping. Hey, welcome back.
Hello.
Thank you.
Oh, how are you?
Strung out.
Strung
Huh?
out.
I was working, yeah. Late shifts, all that sort of thing. Not much seating behind the bar. You all look like you've been in front of one. Good party.
I would have rather not gone.
Yeah, I feel that.
I thought it was rather pleasant.
So did I. It was very educational and social as well.
Oh, yeah. So, it's not the hottest, but I did boil up some coffee, so not for another mug or two, but I'm gonna clock in here. This guy's pickled my brain. Good night, Ogden.
What did he say that's pickled your brain so horribly?
Oh no, he just kept asking me for questions, and I've had a long day. I'm kind of burned.
Ah. Well, have a pleasant night.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got a passive perception above 15?
I think I do.
You should do.
Raider.
I wonder if anyone else does.
I think
Well,
Brader has
mine's
like
above.
16.
Mine's 16, so yours probably is better too. Let me check.
Zarzul?
I think
Ah,
mine's
damn it! My
either
push to talk button is the back button.
16.
Yeah, those with 15 or higher. He's got a faint scent that you usually associate with Zarzul.
Ah,
Ah. That's literally what Rain says out loud.
Yeah, you know, right? Yeah, obviously you.
Yeah, before he's out of the room, he's just going, shh, come on. And Ogden's just kind of bouncing around there in a spring looking at you guys.
I bet he is.
Hi, Ogden Gay.
Hey-oh!
I look upstairs and see if there's a Pufflesworth head looking down at us.
No.
Okay.
I call out, Pufflesworth, Mommy's home.
Then you hear the Scrabble in the rush. You watch as he starts to take big chips of wood out of his stairway as he comes down.
Oh dear.
oh,
So not only are we gonna have to kill him, we're gonna have to fix that.
yes.
Clip his nails. You need to take him on more walks so he could be worn down.
Yep.
Or just have him
I'll
fight.
have
sure
to
to
cast mending.
Or just have him wear his claws down normally by fighting with the dwarf. Cobalt bone is very good for wearing down claws.
I still pick him up and I cuddle him.
Yep, he's all about that attention.
Probably take him to the to the fighting ring. Probably.
Here's the best part: she's about to say goodbye to him because you're there with Horizon West.
Maybe he'll let you take him.
Oh, he is not going to Horizon's place.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Rain knows better than that.
Such a good parent.
Mommy has to
Well,
go
he
with her
responds-
boyfriend. I don't want to lose this one like the others. Your dinner's defrosting in the sink.
Technically, she hasn't lost Prenders. He's still around.
No, it's just a case of, Pufflesworth is just coming home every day to the note on the fridge and the hot dogs defrosting in the sink.
No, actually, Rain was planning on staying with Pupplesworth that night.
Was.
Yeah.
I heard that
No.
bit, did you?
No, she's gonna stay with Pupplesworth.
She's been guilted into it.
No, she wants to spend time with him.
The question is, do you want Horizon to stay?
It's up to him.
He glances around at the group. He noticed the door that Pupplesworth came out of. He's trying to remember what the room arrangements were.
Okay, I'm assuming Malgern saw what door he came out of. What door did he come out of?
Yeah, range room.
Okay, good. He came out of the right room.
Yeah.
I was waiting for he came out of Malgern's room.
Actually, I will...
Didn't he come out of my room that one time?
Yeah.
A couple times. Because remember, he dive bombed Lorna.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the moment I was thinking of, yeah. And then I tried to intimidate him, and he won. Shit.
And then the last time, he didn't have to roll deception because you did start it.
I most certainly did not.
All he did was shake his fur. You hit him.
Fuck off. I hate him.
That's what makes him so awesome.
Maybe Rain should leave him unattended, all alone.
Yeah.
No, she wants to cuddle with her little baby boy.
I think if the party remembers how they left the house, there is probably the thought of, if she's gone tonight, Pufflesworth does not see the morning.
I mean, if I tapped Cornelius on the shoulder and said, "Tonight's the night," he would just nod.
And then they looked at the kobold, who also agrees. They looked at Castalia. What? Or was she on board for the murder of this animal?
I feel like if anybody's not on board, it's Castalia.
Because I don't think she's picked a side.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Congrats is in murder camp.
Oh, okay, well, there we go. We got your boyfriend.
Oh no, he's
so.
exerted dominance over him. He's shown his little fuck he can't push him around.
Several times, actually.
Yeah.
Unlike Malgern.
I'm trying my best. The dice just hate me. But I did play a Blood Bowl game today before D&D, so the dice shouldn't be that awful.
Oh yeah? Feeling confident, are we?
I don't think confidence is the right word.
Because he shoots you a glance.
Above average, but yeah, let's do this.
Ooh, you've got a good chance here.
Damn it. My fucking mouse button. Hold on, sorry.
I don't think you can fail this one.
I know Zazzle could have.
Yeah, but I think Malgern's got the same modifier, if not more. Yeah.
Get fucked.
Wow.
He flinches. And then he's back in the rain. But he flinches dramatically to show that the bad man scared him.
Yeah, I bet he would.
She glowers and picks him up and cuddles him.
Because all he did was look at him. I mean, why is Malgern being so mean?
He knows what he did.
Rain activates the earring so she can talk to Pufflesworth.
Oh, great. Here we go again.
Oh God, what's Pufflesworth saying?
Short Harry wants to hurt me.
He's
Hey, he
not going to
started it.
hurt you. I won't let him.
Look at him. He wants to hurt me.
He's a lot of bluster. All talk, no action.
He hit me earlier. He started it.
I know he did, but don't worry, he won't do it again.
Oh, and Malgern is.
You're not hearing this.
Yeah, you can see it
All you're
chirping.
hearing is chirp, chirp, chirp.
Chirps and growls.
But I think I can deduce. Well, no, yeah. If she's just saying "I know," okay, yeah, I wouldn't be able to. You're right. Little shit.
I missed the rolls because my router was resetting. Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
22
I
verse 7.
nailed it. But now she's
Now she's talking to him.
He's lying little shit.
I mean, with a 22, Malgern's glaring pretty ferociously at Pufflesworth, and Pufflesworth didn't do anything. He just looked at Malgern, and now look at it, Rain. Look what he's doing. He's acting all cute, defenseless, and harmless right now.
Mm-hmm. Even though Rain knows that's not true.
I don't know, does she?
Yeah, she does.
Let's see about
No,
that.
she wants to believe it, but
He's putting his work
What
in
did
to
I
be
roll?
convincing. That would be your animal handling.
that's his animal.
Well
It's
done.
his half elf handling over. No, you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
hold
over
on.
her animal handling, so go click it.
I gotta reopen her sheet again because
You got a 19, so let's see what Rain gets.
A
Equal.
19.
Oh, are we doing a roll off?
Yeah, sure, let's do it one more time for fun.
Ah, damn it! She's
That's
using
the
up
fact
all the
that-
good dice. Oh, she's using up all the good dice.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray manages to see through it. But it's still cute, right?
It's cute, but no.
And then it's just a lot of burbling about how he's tired. And
Well,
hungry.
we're going to bed
and
very
cold.
soon.
And the floor's hard. She smells weird.
Who is she?
You.
I
You.
assume he's talking about. Oh,
Why do you smell of cat?
You smell of rotten fruit.
That's wine, honey.
I don't like it.
Smell of other people.
Yes, I went to a party with other people.
Don't like that.
Well, that's why I didn't bring you. I knew you wouldn't like it.
I feel like if we had a Pufflesworth doll, that's what it would say. You shake it. Don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm the best. And wasn't
I
me.
did- it was,
I heard.
I heard,
I
yeah.
heard-
I heard, yeah. It's a
And of
shame that's not a
course,
thing.
Short Harry did it.
Oh, that's a new one. That's not fair.
It's going to be used a lot, though, in this current psychological war.
Not if I take out the opposition.
And yeah, he's just whinging now.
Well, tomorrow we'll go out to the park and play.
He's kind of excited. But he's also still complaining that he's tired. And it's cold, and that the floor is hard. That you smell weird.
So, what was Horizon's opinion on the night? Even though Rain already pretty much knows the response.
No, he points out, like, looks up there and says, points out, I do have a business meeting in the morning. I will have to. I have a change of things and all. Sorry about this.
No, that's fine.
But we'll meet, will I be free? It'll probably be supper time. I'll be available.
Oh, that works with me. I can take Pufflesworth out for the day. He really wants some time out.
Don't like him.
Be nice. He's very nice.
Like the lazy one. They're mean. They're ugly and smelly.
Who's the lazy one?
Lorna.
Yeah, I assume he means the
No.
other cat.
See, yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
know that Lorna is not a cat.
No. They're very different. He's very nice.
Don't like him.
Well, Mommy likes him.
He's weak. I'm not weak.
No. Well, be nice to him. He won't be mean to you.
He's too weak.
He's nice. You be nice.
Smells weird. He's
Well,
just a
some
shit.
people think you smell weird.
Nah.
Yeah, huh?
I'm tired. Bed. Sleep.
Okay, go up to
You just
bed
hear
and I'll
some
join
angry.
you soon.
The rest of the party just hear this angry single tone of chirp from him. Repeatedly of just sleep.
Well, go to bed. I'll join you shortly.
Carrie. He just flops his whole weight against you.
Oh, wait one moment then.
Tucks his face in. But yeah, Horizon makes his goodbyes.
At which point, then I would take Pufflesworth up to bed.
Yes, I do believe that I will be heading towards my to bed as well. I do not believe I will be taken up on the offer of coffee. No, it was a very nice thought.
Yeah, no worries, man. That's probably good enough for a reheat tomorrow.
Oh, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Come on, group.
Coming!
Yeah,
The whole
they
procession
walk off
arrives
to-
of Cornelius undressing himself, been handing it to Droop to be cleaned, folded, put away. His night robe brought out, pre-fluffed, his pillows arranged.
And just out of curiosity, since Sarsul brought it up, just one glance towards the desk.
Perception check. You do notice something has changed about the desk.
No.
It's a very minor thing. But you quickly cast dancing lights and get your face up close to it, you can see that there's a little scratch mark around one of the locked drawers.
Ah. Did they even get the keys for these?
Yeah, on purchase.
Okay.
Not much point in you buying this incredibly fancy desk without having the keys for it. I mean, it's a pretty easy lock anyway. I mean, this would not be a lockpicking lawyer video.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try and open it.
It's locked.
Oh yeah, unlocking it then.
Yeah, you slide it open. This was the drawer where you were keeping away that hand with the knife to it, because obviously you didn't want that sitting out in the open.
Mm-mm.
So you had locked it in the drawer. It's gone.
I thought Rena had taken that to the necromancer.
She showed it off, but she didn't give it to him.
Okay.
What object
I
is
think.
this?
The hand.
I was trying to grab the
Oh,
knife
yeah,
you
no,
got
we-
from Hags. Did you give it to him?
No, we just showed it to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is also one of the few places you've got with a lock on it.
Mm.
I don't really want to say where everything is, possibly, but yeah. It was in there, covered. Not there anymore.
Any indication of what the scratch mark, what it is?
Got an assumption? A pick? I mean, it's just a little scratch mark, so it was a delicate job.
It's just starting to have one vein that is starting to pulse a lot.
It was a lovely night, now ruined.
Yeah. First, my shit gets stolen from the library. And now someone scratched my desk and took what was in it.
I don't want what's in it, but they took it.
No, we'll have to wait in the morning.
Did I get the emergency bottle?
No, not this time, Drew. Thank you.
I can make ocean noises.
That'll be nice, Drew. Thank you.
You want seagulls this time?
On a smaller interval.
Yes, sir. And Droop
What's the last
indeed
part?
is mimicking with his voice the ocean and seagulls. This is not magical.
Nice.
And
think
Rain's
Drew-
knocking on the door going, is somebody dying in there?
I feel like Droop should roll performance.
He knows not to do caw, caw. There you go. He rolled performance.
Hey, he's nailing it. Look at him go. That's my boy.
Besides, don't forget, Rain, there's another room between yours.
Yeah.
I know, that was a joke, though.
It also sounds like someone could be getting murdered there.
Oh, wow. You'd almost prefer the seagulls at this point.
I mean, it's definitely something getting thrown around the room. But it's literally just Congrats turning around in the room. The tail, the head, the arms, fucking everywhere, hitting against each other, trying to get rid of his massive armor set. Set aside the massive flaming maul. Sally hasn't even gotten to the room yet. It sounds like there's a fight. Any last bits of chattery before we just jump to the next morning?
Not really.
I think that's about it.
It's morning then. Congratulations.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yep. Spell slots and skills and whatnot are all refreshed. Droop fell asleep on the spot where he was doing the ocean noises.
I would imagine he had figured out this isn't the first time, so he has figured out when it is time to just go to bed himself.
Couldn't risk it. Cornelius was upset this night. He needed the ocean. So, what are you guys up to then? It's all on you.
Yeah, Rain is going to go with the breakfast route and then finally take Pufflesworth out to the park so that they can play ball or something.
Yeah, hang on with that, Rain.
Oh?
So it would appear that someone has been in my desk. And we are lacking
Again?
a certain item. No, last time someone was at my desk. This time someone was in the desk.
Can you tell Patience to stop digging around your desk?
For
Yeah,
her
stop
sake, I
telling her
hope
to fiddle around.
it was not her.
Yeah, stop her fiddling around with your desk.
But why do
That's
you
a
think
bit of
it's not her?
stress.
What's been taken?
The hand.
Oh, I don't like that.
I was hoping with someone who have knowledge of a thieves' tool, I think. It's a slight scratch.
Well,
I just happened to notice it.
Oh, well, Zazel's once again going to cast locate object just in the off chance it's semi close.
Yeah, it pings.
Zazel's head whips around to point in a direction like a pointer dog.
Mm-hmm. It's somewhere over here. I don't think you get specific, do you? Just get direction?
Yeah, it's but just the
Yeah,
direction.
direction. So yeah.
That's near Cobalt House.
Well, remember, it's a direction,
Yeah.
not where the arrow ends.
Yeah.
So it could be in the craftsman's quarter as well.
Okay, so he doesn't have like an idea of in between those 1,000 feet.
No, it's
Just-
literally
it's
just
within
says a
those.
direction. I think. Double check again.
Yeah, sense direction is within. Yeah, so it isn't specific distance.
Yep.
It's that way.
He says inside the house.
Pointing.
Well, yeah, he can't do much else
Yeah,
than point
he
the
can't.
direction.
Let's go wake everybody else up and let's go on a hunt for our missing hand.
And he cast that twice more.
And you better be sure of
Oh.
where to cast it. Yeah.
It lasts up to 10 minutes, so yeah.
Okay, so it keeps pinging for like 10 minutes.
That's
Yeah,
his
we could-
duration up to 10 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we could do is get everybody start off, and then when we get a little closer, try again.
I mean, if everyone's interested.
I mean, that is a pretty serious thing for someone having to stolen a cursed hag artifact. And especially from inside the house, someone who also... That seems like a very targeted thing. Considering... actually, we should probably check the basement. Before we go out. See if there's anything else that's missing.
Sure, Cornelius, you get
actually-
everybody up. I'll check the basement.
Oh yeah, actually I'm assuming the hourglasses were still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, yeah, so now it seems like someone was specifically looking for that thing.
It's also a case of the hourglass was sitting in the open.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it isn't someone who just looking for valuable stuff. It's like someone was looking for that thing in specific. Considering, like, unless you knew that those hourglasses were cursed.
Also, didn't it make you want to try and kill yourself, that dagger?
Yes.
Well, we don't have a body here, so he must have collected it carefully
Mm-hmm.
and known what he was
Well-
dealing with.
Well, I think the reason, well, with Cornelius' case, it was also when he tries to identify that it happened. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily that the thing makes you kill yourself. It's more that.
Kills
Well,
the
okay,
curious.
could be the knife, but yeah, you could hold it was like on a wooden plaque, wasn't it?
Yeah, a wooden board with a hand nailed on it. The fingers cut off the knuckle. And it was reaching
Yeah.
towards a rusty knife, also in the board.
Yeah. So the wood was in itself fine. So there are some parts of it you can't touch, but it could also just be that the hand itself had the curse of wanting to kill itself, and the only thing close enough was that knife. I don't think we did much more experimentation after that.
Not after Cornelius tried to off himself, no.
Yeah. Yeah, Cornelius got to start knocking on the doors.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, sorry about that, but there's an effect from my room that has been stolen while we were gone, and it happens to be the cut off hand that tries to make someone kill yourself.
Oh no, that is actually
All right.
running all the way.
Much appreciated.
Well,
Walks in. Oh yeah, it was Puffleworth down with Rain.
Up with rain, yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
wouldn't
gotta
have
walk
brought him down
into.
to the basement, but yeah.
Yeah, just gotta walk into Rain's room and just yell into the hole. The Malkern, come on, we need to get up. We have a stolen property that has to be retrieved.
not my
Malgurt,
property.
Just want to
It's-
walk out again.
Malgurn, as you awaken, you feel like you're bound.
What?
You try to move around, but there's something just keeping you pinned there.
What's going on?
You notice there's a big black limb across you.
Oh, that's normal.
Yep. You're just ensnared in the one tentacle Lorna has.
You're gonna have to go on without me. And I was 100% serious. I'm not going anywhere.
There's a big rumbling, deep, guttural sort of growl coming from behind you that you feel right in your chest. And she just shifts and rolls. Now you are trapped between those 6 legs.
Yeah. So yeah, he said that, and he meant it.
And then a big savage tongue just gets stuck into that hair. Your hat of vermin is knocked aside.
I like this less, but I'll deal with it.
It's a case of you feel like you're on a massage chair whenever she purrs.
Neat.
She's full grown now. She's big.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Literally large. So yeah, you just heard... I mean, you hear him making excuses, Cornelius, and also animal noises. And of course, there's the kobold in the
Cornelius
kitchen.
do about it? Yeah. That's the ultimate question.
Well, might as well get some breakfast because if my calculations are correct, it usually takes a bit before Kratz is ready.
Buckle. Strap. Why have I got 2 buckles? Why ever 2 buckles?
Don't worry. Just relax.
Okay.
Let's sort it out.
And I imagine Cornelius is saying those exact same words as he has written it down on a piece of paper. He has calculated how long and just exactly what is going to be said. Nah, that's just a joke.
Ah, they're at the 2-button portion of the exercise.
Oh yeah.
Or 2
How
buckles.
long it's gonna take? I imagine that around the second buckle usually takes a bit longer.
That's not fair. You just throw that on that just sit... I'm jealous now. I couldn't wear it now, but I'm jealous of that. Not that... How do you look good in the morning?
Come on. I have to rush.
No. Yeah. I'll armor on. One boot, then the other. Oh, all right. Yeah, it does take a while, just because it takes plate armor a while to put on.
Yeah.
But the 2 emerge. Is Sally in her work attire or her working attire?
Working attire. If dangerous artifact is about, then there could be trouble.
Which means no more for the trousers and the leather shirt. No, it's time for the silk.
Yep.
Funny how that works.
And the abundance of jewels. Yep. And Malgurn's still there, just with his cat, not a cat.
Did he clean the litter dish?
Anything else missing?
See, that's the thing. I can only picture Malgurn's room just having no furniture. It's just
It's just
him
like-
and the cat, and there's just all kinds of slowly building up detritus. Like,
no, there's a pile of hay in the corner. We sleep
Yeah,
on
like there's a
it.
that's the thing. Like there's a pile of hay in one corner, and there's a pile of hay in the other corner. One's the bed, one's the toilet, and they don't always get it right.
No, I use a bucket. I'm civilized.
How do you get the displacer beast to use the bucket?
Well, no, that's what the other pile of hay's for. But no, I use a bucket.
But then it's also a case of, like, I can imagine there's no windows in this room either. There's a haze at the hole in Rain's floor. Because there's just the fumes of a dwarf who does not wash and a displacer beast who has no need to wash. So yeah, it's on you guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, get yourself something. A quick bite to eat.
I mean, Rain expressed her interest by heading off to the park, right?
Well, no, did I find anything missing down below?
Nope.
Okay. So she would come back and tell Cornelius that nothing else was taken.
Has the object been moving at all in the 10 minutes since I cast the spell?
Not within the 10 minutes, no.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to try and do a bit of triangulation then.
Well, we know a direction. Let's head to something in that way. And we'll cast it again and then start running. Or walking quickly without drawing attention.
Yeah, if it's cast somewhere around here, then we will at least know if it still continues upwards towards here, or if it's somewhere in towards here. And if it goes up here, then we can, at the very least, cast it up here, and we should have somewhat triangulated where it is.
You cast it again, Ven?
Get closer to where it was anyway. And off to a side, as it were.
Yeah, from casting it there, that's the direction you feel.
So we're dealing with about there. Oh. Because the first one was... So are we heading there now?
I would assume so. That's where it's crossing lines, so that's where it should be.
Okay, let's go. Is it pointing downwards, like into the underground area?
Nope.
At all? Okay, good.
You do feel it going up a little bit as you get closer.
Okay, that's easier to deal with than down. I'm happy with that.
As you get to the location, it is a disused home. It's beside a couple of bustling places, and also the downside is you are near some tanners. Every early morning breath wakes you the fuck up instantly, and you don't want this land to be existing. This is terrible. This is just the inhalation of so much. Oh.
Does there seem to be an easy way into the house, or is it locked? Or
It's got a door. But it doesn't have windows, it just has the shutters, and they seem to be bolted in. 2 floors.
okay, do I feel like I'm dealing with the second floor or the ground floor?
Yeah, it feels like the second floor.
Okay. I say to Cornelius, this one, top floor.
So any, like, what kind of, like, other than, like you said, the tanners around here, like, what's the local population flavor like?
Fucking 0 with the smell. Like, for obvious reasons, people don't mill around here.
Okay, so it's only people who really are supposed to be here that it looks like that are here.
Yeah, what you're looking at is a place in the corner of several walls. Like, there is little sun here. There is just scent.
Is there anyone outside at the moment nearby?
No, not this early and not in this area. Like, the tanners are working, but they're
Okay.
also in their stores and their workshops.
All right.
Congrats. Could you open that door, please?
Well, hang on. Let's just take a look around this building.
Yeah, it does
Gotta
have
see if there's.
loading doors on the back. Again, plain wood, pretty thin, with just a big old simple pinned bar to show. But this is not in use right now. But it's on the outside.
So we can
Okay,
just
so it's-
open the doors and get in through
Well,
the
that was
back.
a case of the bar has been pinned on both sides of just this will hold it closed until someone buys the place.
Okay, if it's done on both sides, then it probably it was. This isn't the way it got in.
Yeah, it was more like so we make sure there wasn't anyone who ran out in the through the back.
Yep.
There are again some shuttered awnings up on the second floor as well. No balcony or porch or anything like that there, or doorways.
Okay. So shall we go in through the front door?
Well, just one moment, just in case. Just adding mage armor. So at least I have 14 armor class.
Wow, you've only got a +1 in your dex?
Yep.
Just all brain power, okay.
Brains, wisdoms, and charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Why do you think it was that Cornelius looked so dashing when he went into his suicidal run towards the Orc cleric or shaman?
But then there's also how he'd probably lose a slap fight with a kobold ranger.
That might be more equal. I might.
Well, it's
dodge
because
more often,
you're
though.
tougher, but he's stronger. Because I think
Yeah.
Cornelius is just
And
a
for
0
some
on
strange-
strength.
And for some strange reason, Rain
Yep.
would probably beat the stuffing out of both of them.
Oh, yeah. She's had to carry big books, many of them. She's had to carry censers, various holy figures and symbols. Yeah, you build up strength in the clergy.
Shield.
Yep. Whereas he just pulls a short bow back, and that doesn't take any strength. No, don't apply reality to that weapon.
Ooh, right. Castalia, could you take a just in case that this? I just want to make sure this isn't somehow a hack trap. And if it is, at least want to know what kind of it could be. Do you think you could do your magical vision?
Sure thing. And
Yeah.
I will use Eldritch Sight to detect magic at will.
Yep. Which means at any time you could just have your eyes glowing like fucking beacons.
Yes.
You see the door light up.
Oh.
But then you look to your right, to the opposite, like further down the wall, and you see a door shape also light up.
Well, the door is glowing like a beacon. And there's also a door over there.
What's the sort of someone ping detect magic? I'm curious about the density of wood it requires. It's like the walls of a place are a given. You're not seeing through there.
Can penetrate most barriers, but blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
So yeah, you can see that there's some more pings, some more light shining through from the shutter.
Hmm.
It looks like the whole place is glowing on the inside.
So what kind of school is the magical door? The one that is invisible?
The magical door, well, the visible one is evocation.
Mm-hmm.
The invisible one is illusion. And the inside is also illusion.
Ah. So it was a good thing we didn't have Kurgrass bust down the door.
To be fair, he's a paladin, he could have taken it.
Doesn't he have the aura that gives his charisma to saves as well?
Yeah, including himself.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mind you, he has one less charisma than Droop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's sexy, not cute. Cute has wider appeal.
That it does.
And of course,
Well, I relay all the information.
there's also his amazing dexterity.
Hmm. Well, that's certainly interesting. So let's stay away from the obvious door and let's try and see if we can figure this one out.
I know this is a strange question, but should we get the guards involved?
And I'm sure the adventuring party just look at you like the fucking scum you are for suggesting such a stupid idea.
Correct.
What makes you think this is for the town guard? Something's weird happening in this city. This is our job, you little scab.
Okay.
I don't know, because in this party they'd probably say, yeah, good point, there's nothing in it for us.
I'd more explain that the door is glowing with evocation magic. Likely pushing in on it would maybe cause a fireball. Do we really want guards to come and try and solve that? How well does the average guard handle a level 5 wizard?
I'd say
Depends
patience
on
hand
how
us some quick
flammable
milk.
they are at the time.
In a fist fight, pretty well, probably.
Yeah. I mean, what's Cornelius' strength mod? -1?
No, 0. Exactly 0.
Oh,
just zero.
just got a 0, huh? Nice. Okay.
That's why I say it's a toss-up between him and the kobold in a fight.
Oh, okay.
Because nominally, Zarzul is tougher. Certainly tougher to hit. But he's weaker. Actually, come to think of it, that means that Cornelius would be able to beat Zarzul in a fist fight all day long, and Zarzul couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, because we determined, he does no damage with his fists. God bless Jeremy.
Yeah, I think I'll say
I've got a strength of 0, okay?
Oh,
Not
0?
negative.
I thought you were -1.
No, Zazzle has no negatives.
Okay.
So
Really?
he does 1 damage.
He doesn't have negative intelligence. I'm amazed.
Let's say there's 2 zeros on the sheet and 2 1s on the sheet.
Yeah.
And one of those is his con.
Gross. I mean, I have a
Wisdom
0 in
is-
intelligence, but everything else is pretty spot on. I mean, I have a 5-4-4 where it counts.
I have a 5-2-1-1.
So can I, with an Arcana, figure out how to dispel the illusionary door?
Dispel magic.
If I roll Arcana?
Yeah, dispel magic.
Yeah, I don't have Dispel magic. I don't have
Well-
Counterspell.
Then good fucking luck.
I was gonna say, I don't think he's gonna let you get away with that one.
I
Yeah.
have dispel magic.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to change.
Well, I
it
mean,
to
you could
something
also
else.
just try to touch the illusion.
Yeah.
I'll do
Just
that.
for
I'll
this-
try and touch the illusion.
You can push slightly through it and you can feel the wood texture behind it. But you're still looking at it, and unlike other illusions, this one's not distorting as you peer through it. Like, it's not clicking in your brain, but this is no longer a wall. But you can definitely feel the door behind it. It's not solid.
All right. Can I open the door?
You feel around for it. It feels like it's just, like the back door, it's just basically jammed up. Like, you could, but it would take a prying attempt.
Hmm.
Do you want to
It's a
borrow a
s-
crowbar?
Sure.
What do you
Fair
want
enough.
Regrets to do?
Before we do,
Yeah.
before we do that, what was it with the? That said, there was also one of the windows that was illusionary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's able to see through the shutter and see that the entire room is illusory magic.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant.
All right, and I
Yeah,
hand the crowbar to Congrats.
That would look really dinky in his hand.
It's still solid metal, though.
Or it just sticks in his claws and just rips the door out of the frame.
Just walks through it. Should I really do this? Yeah, I can't resist the devil. That's gonna be a problem in later life, I'm sure. There we go. And with a Malako-style roll, that door does not exist. It's
There
kind
is
of
now a door in this wall.
It's just very simple. As in, he gets it in right, like he feels where it's gonna bend and flex, and then just finds a stronger beam part, and then it's just like just a quick jab with the palm, and it just flings the door open, but intact. And the first thing you see inside it, Castalia, is a tiny library. Like, it's a case of you look in and you can see, like, the interior of a huge study hall, but it's been scaled down to where it fits in this room. And you can see little small figures walking around the shelves carrying books, scrolls, and tomes.
Ah,
I mean, it's weird, but also adorable.
uh, can I cast some sort of? What should I roll to figure out what those creatures are that's flitting around?
Well, I mean, with Castalia's eyes, she can tell that it's all just one illusion.
Oh, okay. So the room itself is also looking weird.
But it is just a bustling, like, every surface has been repurposed to look like a very fancy library and study hall. It's probably about time that someone should ask, is Rain with the party?
Rain is, and Rain is very, very interested.
Yeah, Rain also fully recognizes it.
Oh. Oh dear.
Give me a perception check.
Raider, give me a perception check.
All right, rolling Malgurn's perception.
Good.
I almost hit persuasion because
16 is enough. You spot yourself multiple times. As you look through it, you can see this is playing out moments when you were in this library, and you recognize a figure who is most often with you in these moments. Like, the floor plan's not exact. It's a bit edited and all, but it also seems like there's little segments of just working out little tableaus and moments of your life. What are you doing, Zarzul?
Do I recognize Rain up there?
I don't know, would you really think to look? But then you do zoom in a person, yeah. You recognize the many Rains. She looks a bit different, but you can't really change the face structure.
Zarzul is now looking at Rain very closely.
Which
She
one?
is feet white.
Rain?
I've noticed.
Um,
Just a massive brass scale hand. Notice what?
she's everywhere.
No, she's what?
Hmm?
Kania's gotta take another look inside. To roll perception to see if I can see her. I'll recognize that it's her, or...
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I mean, they're pointing it out. I'm sure. Well, sure Zarzul.
Yeah,
sees
that's
a
what I mean.
snitch.
Like, do I have?
Yeah.
It's more like, do I have to roll?
No,
or do
you
I just
you follow where
assume it?
Zarzul is pointing as one of the examples.
What in the world?
This is probably more hag stuff then, because they were
Yeah,
interested in
end.
her before. Looks like they still are.
Either that or a creepy stalker.
Possibly both.
Ooh, both would be really bad.
Yeah, it'd be like if a
We've already
skull.
found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already know that that's a thing. We know I have a creepy stalker that is a hag.
Yeah, but what if there's a second creepy stalker?
Yeah, that's a coven that's after her.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we killed the first hag. Well, that hag.
Did we just find number 2?
We might have
Oh,
found
no.
his home, or her home, possibly.
I don't.
Yeah, this one was a woman. I know the one that at least was trying to work with us for the through the doll's head was a woman, or presenting herself that way.
We're not gonna find the hand just standing out here, so
Yeah, as you swing around the room, it's also interesting because there's tables and chairs here, but they've all just been sort of blocked in by the library scenes. And Zarzul, you're the one with your high perception noticing there's a few intimate moments sprinkled in there as well.
Oh dear.
No, it's a case of like, a little bit of cuddling between the shelves. That's about as close as it got, sure. After all, it was a professional thing mainly. But it was all a showing of, okay, she was involved with Prenders.
The depravity is just inferred.
Yes.
Is that Prenders? He looks different.
He looks quite handsome.
quite more alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not stretched out.
She looks at Zarzul. Yeah, she looks at Zarzul and goes, I mean, last time he was kind of an undead husk.
Yes.
That does tend to make one look different.
Okay. The hags have been watching you for quite a while.
How do we know that this is the hags and this isn't related with Prenders? Directly.
Well, those two things seems to have been correlated with each other.
Yeah, obviously he was working with them at some degree.
Then as you step through the room, you get to the stairs. Each stair is a classroom. And it seems to be increasing by year. And you notice a gradually maturing and learned Cornelius sitting among them.
Oh God.
You see year after year of his education.
Oh fuck.
Could I study this and become a wizard as well?
There's no sound.
I think you could. Don't think you can skip out of tuition fee, you little shit.
Rain just kind of points at the stairs. Well, Cornelius.
Well, this is getting more and more disturbing by the point.
I mean, it gets very awkward by the mid-step, where you see that it's not in the classroom. It's at that very awkward time when your father and your older brother were just 2 peas in a pod talking about the future of the company and the family. And you are sitting there a little distant away from them with a glass of wine too, but not taking part in the conversation.
Ugh.
And then it's back to the
And Ray-
classrooms.
With Raid is just an inferred creepiness. Here it's so sad. I imagine Cornelius is also sitting in front in the classroom.
Yep. Well, it's up to you, like, in front, but he's probably got the perfectly organized desk.
Yeah, and everyone, I imagine some of the others are turned around looking at each other during class,
Yeah.
socializing. That's just Cornelius with his books.
Yep.
Time passes. And you see classes have ended, but he has stayed behind because he just need to add a few more notes from the board.
That's the thing. As you look at the classrooms, the Cornelius element just gets taller. It's the same seat. It's the same seat. It's the same desk. Even as the classroom changes to the more advanced ones, he's still basically in the same spot.
Yeah, Range just decided she's going up the steps.
Yep. But
Well, all this simply because now it's of Cornelius' interest. Can he do an arcana to figure out what kind of magic is going on here?
I mean, even at a glance, you can tell that this is some real high-level illusionary magic. This is not something in the levels of power you already have. This is something that is an expert in these matters. Also, the stairs don't go up just in a straight line. There is a turn. And when you take that... And when you see the landing ring, since you're the first one up, you see a little glimpse of a sort of, like, mid-sized kind of manor house. And it's just covered in snow and sharp iron gates. It looks bleak as hell. But you do see a tiny little child tiefling throwing snowballs.
Oh, Castalia.
Hmm?
I point.
What are you fuckers, XCOM 2 soldiers?
I
mean,
turn
you've
with
seen
my
what
gun. I turn with my gun, aim carefully, then turn 90 degrees and fire.
Yep, good job. I've seen your dice, that is true.
What do you think of that, Castalia?
What color's the tiefling?
You.
What color? You.
Like, you
Yes.
recognize this is your family grounds.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember the exact day because, you know, kind of bled together that kind of way. And then as you turn to look up the rest of the stairs, yeah, there's scenes for you. A couple of steps up, you see, like, there's little glimpses of trying to apprentice at the forge. Sitting the boring, dull moments of having to attend the functions that your parents went to, which is where you got your resentment for noble family social events. There's also a strange moment, too, when you get to see, yeah, there it was. There is young Castalia and a younger Congrats. Although he still looks the same fucking size.
Wait
a minute.
Well, to be fair, Dragonborn are fully grown around 15.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they don't live that long, do they?
80 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a shorter lifespan than a human, which is surprising.
It's kind of comparable, but it's short for anything dragon related. But yeah, you see him with his cadre of buddies whenever they were visiting. That's a case of, you know, he was there. You didn't really interact a whole lot because it was just something your dad to talk about. Your dad to talk to. You realize, oh right, yeah, that was it. And then the rest of the steps take on a familiar journey as it becomes mountainous terrain. At the very top, it cuts through the mountain to show the forge. The symbols. Long forgotten, practically abandoned.
Alright, I go up. I have no complaints about my past.
Well, it's a case of they get to see it.
Well, come walk my past with me.
One of those things. Kurgatz has been
Yeah.
watching Castalia since she was a little girl.
No, it's literally a case of him and the mercenary company showed up once because they were in the area. Like, they're both from Brenigos. He even mentioned
Turns
it. He
out-
did say when he first met her.
Yeah.
Turns out we've all been within 5 feet of each other at some point in our lives without knowing it.
Like when it comes
There was
down,
that one-
if you're curious on the age gap, it's about 3 years. That's it.
Yeah. So normal. Okay.
Yeah. He's not that old. He's just that huge.
Yeah, just think of it this way: all of us have been in the same room as each other, and we just never knew it was each other.
But yeah, they also see the ritual you did. The call-in Birago.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be that surprised. I mean, it's just a smoke in her pocket.
We know about this, yeah.
Oh, they know about it,
Well,
but
not the-
you didn't see what the ritual looked like. It's a little more
There was
exuberant than you were
lots of
expecting.
70s music.
Yeah. A little more exuberant than you were expecting. Fucking fire everywhere.
It's like a Jimi Hendrix concert.
Ah, shit. Bend further up the steps. The new landing. Well, this one, it's a bit sparse, actually. You actually see floor. But the door is like an ant farm slice of a mountain. You see dwarves. You see dwarves toiling. You see dwarves fighting. You see dwarves getting drunk. Jesus Christ, man, your life is cliche. Like Cornelius, and you look at Cornelius and Malgern's life, and it's wow. This is exactly what I expected to have happened. Yes.
Yep.
Look, Malgern. It does what it says on the tin.
And it's up to anyone if they want to really look hard at any of these scenes.
Yeah, Malco, do you want to see more, or do you just want to skip?
I don't need to see more of Cornelius. I'm already bored just watching it.
No, yours.
Or
I was
Stalius
there.
or Reigns.
Yeah.
I was there.
Also, Malgern isn't here. He's still trapped under the.
Oh
the
yeah,
lock.
he's in bed.
True enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Then again-
Cornelius.
But then you know who it's about.
Mm.
At a glance, yeah.
I mean, I imagine Cornelius would have stopped at the floor with the ritual to summon a Patreon.
It's
Summon Corvus Patreon. Yeah.
it's pretty fucking wild. Like, you've seen Castalia dance around and cut down people. You've not really seen her at, like, the screaming, flaming torch phase.
It's just a phase, Mom.
Or she's smashing a hammer to make as many sparks she can to ignite a torch to then ignite the walls and the funnels of... and the runnels, of oil. To ring the place in fire. And nothing but a blacksmith's apron.
Also, I think it's also the part where walking up and seeing Castalia where she came from, but the way she described it before, it always sounded like a small village she just came from. He is utterly shocked that she's of noble.
Well, no,
Of finer standing.
it's the same thing as Rain, like merchant family.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Like I said, it's not like it's a modest size manor. Like yours is much bigger
okay.
because that matters.
Mhm.
But no, it's a case like this is bigger than a townhouse.
It matters to him.
Yeah. But it's also a whole lot of time at Forges.
Mm.
And there's just that prevalent theme of snow and really fucking vicious looking iron spiked fences, walls, and gates. Reddinghouse looks like a hostile place for any bird trying to make a landing.
I mean, well, there's more iron than there would.
And then as you're looking down the dwarf door, there's a little glance into a narrow corner. And you just see a little bit of forest. And now and again you can glimpse a kobold and a wolf. It's like the one segment compared to all the rest of you.
I'm boring.
No one said you're boring.
Maybe they just haven't had enough time to get enough images of me yet.
Yeah, well, you look at it and there's nothing of when you were released from the tribe. There's also nothing about the people who trained you and how you learned your art.
Yeah, it's
Like-
just...
You can see there's big gaps here. And I mean, with Malagurn, there's nothing above surface. It's all in the dwarf hold.
Oh, I thought you were making a short joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really leave until much later.
And that part isn't included. And to be fair with my section, I mean, I was only in the library as well.
Yep. Cornelius,
Yeah,
it was
but in
his
this
whole
case,
fucking
it
life, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that one showed both the school and back home.
Mm-hmm. Like with
And with Castalia.
the amount of rains, like that was a series of days kind of thing. With Castalia and Cornelius, it was years.
And with Zazzle, it might have been an afternoon. Okay. I look around to see what else is in this top room. Where's this? Where the hand is?
No, it's just a door leading into the next room.
Brain's gonna open the door.
Good.
Hang on,
Okay, I'm gonna need some saves.
I would check
I was
for
about to-
traps.
I was about to say, let Castalia look at the door first.
This place is filled with illusion magic, so, I'm pretty sure every door is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well, yeah, it's more like
Well, it's a
what
case
kind
of Rain got ahead of you.
No,
Yeah,
Rain would be looking it over. She's not gonna immediately open the door.
Give me an investigate. 'Cause you're looking for traps, right?
Yes, Malgurn, give me an investigate.
I suppose we've got to decide our marching order here. So we have Rain at the top of the steps at the door. Who's next?
Oh, Zazzle would be looking at his small slice of life.
Probably Cornelius looking at the ritual of Birago.
Yeah, imagine Cornelius is probably in the back.
Why would you suggest such a thing?
Oh no, it's more the fact that if he stayed behind and looked at that, I think since Castalia mentioned she was just walked past it because she's seen it.
You're probably there with congrats, both watching the ritual.
I mean, she described it to me, but seeing it is familiar.
Oh. You've seen them before?
Well, you told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just seeing it. While you're moving
didn't
around
expect.
there, like throwing the hair back, and it's just familiar.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Cornelius picks up on none of that in character.
Oh, he's too busy taking notes.
Yeah. Like you're so wild and free there and passionate and yeah, this is familiar. Also,
Meanwhile,
Brader, we need an
upstairs we hear
investigate
the-
from Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because I was thinking, oh, I'm not there. I was about to roll. I was like, I'm not there. I don't have to roll. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the with A.
What pay?
The with A.
The waifu.
The yieldy ball
no.
and chain.
Do it.
Oh, the Wi-Fi.
Yes, the Wi-Fi.
Not to be confused with the Wi-Fi.
15, no traps.
No traps, none whatsoever. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Stupid sexy dragon.
Castalia.
Wait a minute. You think it's fine.
I was gonna say you wouldn't.
In
Nobody would.
character, you think you've done a good job here.
Yes, but
the
I
door.
also know better.
Open the door.
No, you don't. That's
No,
the
she does
problem.
that. She knows to check it for magical traps. She doesn't have a spell for that.
I believe it started with I opened the door.
You made your bed, now lie in it.
You've opened this can of worms, now lie in it.
To be fair, she would check it.
Mm-hmm.
She just did. Didn't
Alright,
find
I'll open it.
anything.
I really like how the kobold sold you out there. He just did.
Okay.
No, you checked it for mundane traps. You call for assistance. She was small a few years ago.
Much have changed with you, I see.
No, I mean, it's a joke. They said it was a full man at that point. 15 summers or so. Still had all the learning to do. It's just I was big. Went through a lot of shirts, a lot of trousers. I mean, everything has to get constantly re-sewed, and then you get hand-me-downs from the other ones, and they were smaller at that age. And you, as he looks down at the classrooms.
Yes,
You're a consistent man.
I certainly am.
One way to put it, yeah.
That's how you get results. Consistency.
Yeah. So, you've called Castelli up to help you?
Yes.
Can we look at the door and see if it's trapped? I don't see any traps, but I don't have the magic looking ability right now. That was a very scientific statement.
Am I to assume that it is glowing up with a lot of illusion magic?
Oh, yeah.
Am I to assume that this is completely blocking out most other forms of magic being displayed upon it?
I don't know entirely. Can you ping detect magic for me?
How do I...
You press a little speech bubble.
That's the thing, though. I have it as an invocation and as an actual spell.
Oh,
Here.
okay. No. Yeah, he should have
Well,
it.
for the duration, you sense the presence
just
of magic
just
within
click the
30
speech
feet
bubble,
of you.
man, so we can all see it. There we go.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see because it's a faint aura. But through the door, on the opposite side of it, there is a glyph of warding. Well, it's evocation anyway.
All right. There is a little bit of evocation in this door.
You can also see that the room beyond is also glowing with illusion.
And it looks like more wonderful visions are behind this door. What do you do, Rain?
That is a fair question. We have a problem. Does anybody have a spell for this?
Well, I do believe that Castelia had the dispel magic,
Indeed, I do.
so this would probably be the
Malgern,
point
do
where...
I have a dispel magic?
But also, it's on the opposite side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but does dispel magic hit in the area?
No, it targets a magical effect.
Okay.
Because this one I can pay.
What level spell is it? Just make sure I don't think you have it. No, I don't see it here.
Level 3.
I
She probably has it, just not tagged.
Yeah. So it's not tagged. You're correct.
You choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
It doesn't say you have to actually visibly see it. It's just have to be able to detect it, I guess. So you could possibly just
You
choose
could
the.
target the door, but the door may also have 2 magic on it.
Well, it does. You know this.
Yeah. So I guess I could target the evocation spell specifically.
It's a little tricky because normally when you cast a spell, you have to be able to see it. It has to be in line of sight. So I'll give you an Arcana roll for this. It's a little tricky. You've got to go through one magic effect to get the one behind it.
Yep.
And also to get the right proper area for it.
13.
Yeah, I'll allow it then. You get rid of the Glyph of Warding.
Right.
You've still got Malgern's life playing out in front of you. This could be a week for him. I also like how it's the one people are paying the least attention to next to Zarzul.
Oh, it's more that it seems a little intrusionary to start looking at his life without him being there.
Whatever you need to tell yourself to sleep at night.
No one's glanced in Zarzul's direction.
It's just a kobold and a wolf in the woods.
Yep.
Yeah.
The same 3 minutes, but repeating.
Yep.
Wonder why yours is so short, Zul.
I'm thinking that whatever they've got these images from, I must have only barely passed it.
It's only in his lucid moments. That's the entirety of when he was fully in control of his faculties.
However, they've gathered these images through some form of spying device. The devices were obviously placed in areas or something like that, and I might have only just brushed by one. Whereas the school is obviously an area of greater interest to them, so they had more of them? I don't know.
Oh, Castalia's home area seemed to have been littered with them then.
Oh,
this also feels very familiar to the toy makers, except these are outright illusions.
They're
not just dolls.
Does this feel like hag magic, or is this something else?
This is very high level magic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's hag related, though. That's the question. It feels
probably.
It doesn't have the same taint or cruelty to it, though. I don't see much mocking.
I don't know. People might have a different opinion as they look at Cornelius's one.
Well, yeah, but it's not outright. Like, also considering everyone else's.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that seems mocking.
Yeah, well, Cornelius probably looks at his one and thinks, yes, I was a model student. That is right.
Yeah.
He got a gold star in his hat every year.
Mm-hmm.
He got the shit kicked out of him the next year commencement.
That's why Burning Hands was one of his first spells.
Oh god, at a wizard school, that must be the most terrible job, being the cleric that works in the first aid area.
Ugh.
Getting no fucking respect whatsoever, but you have to keep putting their asses together.
Yeah.
Well, most of them have got a probably negative strength modifier, so they can't even beat each other up with their fists.
It's just a lot of you just hear a lot of slapping.
Yep. Until they start learning spells.
Just like the Family Guy episode. Like, imagine how these would settle duels back in the day if they didn't have guns.
9, 10, and turn.
They're just running at each other, just slapping this shit out of each other.
And so you reach for the doorknob, yes?
Yep.
Well, tough shit. The session is over on that cliffhanger. Haha! Because we're at 3 hours 20. I didn't expect you to follow this one up so quickly. I figured you're just going to let the suicide knife go for a bit.
No.
Oh, this
No.
one seemed a little more critical.
Yeah.
And we actually had a way of cracking it.
It's also been missing for a while.
Oh. So Cornelius didn't notice his desk was damaged for a few days. Impressive.
What he noticed instead was his quills had been used. His ink was not at the right level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the end of tonight's session. I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully you can actually get some downtime, but you know that's not going to happen, not right now. There could be all kinds of things behind that door.
Yeah.
Look at us, we're trying to tidy up loose ends. Yes. We are
Now I've got a
progressing.
week to forget how this session ended so we can get back to the door next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now to click the button that says it ends.
Kern is still sitting at home with his cat.
Yep.
I'm sure they're
Hey,
fine.
look.
Nothing's happening.
Look, if it was really important, Cornelius would have went and got him himself.
Question, where's Pufflesworth at the moment?
With Ring.
Here with
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I was
I
really
can't
looking
wait to
forward to
see-
her just opening the door. You know what that you know what that glyph of warding had on it? Chain lightning.
Yeah.
Chain lightning is 10d8. That could have been fun.
But it would have. Yeah, it would have solved the Pufflesworth problem.
He actually probably would have survived. The kobold, on the
Yeah,
other
he
hand.
has a lot of HP.
I would have had to resist it and get half. Yeah.
A reminder that the kobold cleric ranger has less HP than the wizard.
And the cleric has as much as the fighter, and she has wizard levels.
Nah, I think there's finally a gap now.
Yeah, he is finally, but it's not much.
What's the wizard at it now, hit points wise?
I'm at 53 hits point.
I'm at 60. I got more than the wizard.
Oh, okay, you didn't apply your last level up then.
Yeah. Well, it's on there now. But yeah.
Yeah, he slightly pulled ahead.
I must have rolled 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Congrats has 120. Alrighty then, so now to hit the button that says the stream is over.